This is a Yes Network right here. Phantom Acts of Kindness hooking us up right here.
Yeah, he's excelled at every level, and they told this kid, hey, you have the opportunity to win the job in camp. So, like, you got to put Judge in this category. When you're talking about the most impressive season since, like, you got to put A-Rod. Like, format, this first year, the new format, the Beast of the East, the Yankees crushed the best division in baseball. McPherson, WFAN, on stage.
Hey, Keith Mack, man, big fan.
You already know what it is when you hear that. Yeah. Okay. I don't like how the TikTok camera's looking. Instagram. I'm really only live on Instagram right now to tell you to go to YouTube, go to Twitter, go to Twitch. What's good, yo? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? I see people pulling up. Usually, you know, we get in here. Let me play some music for y'all in the background real quick. Let me play some beats. What the fuck? Let me play some, hey. See, on Instagram, you can't hear the beats right now. So, YouTube, McPherson brand. Twitch, Keith McPherson. TikTok, I'm about to send live, but I don't, it's in landscape for some reason. Whatever. We'll go live on there. I could not go live yesterday. My son was home. We had the snow day. Shout out to the parents out there. You understand what it's like. Like, these kids, they don't go to school, and you gotta entertain them. Like, how can you get anything done? How can you get anything done with a terrible 2-year-old that just wants to watch TV and fuss and fight and cry? And yeah, so shout out to Jackson back in school. Jackson McPherson back in school. Can we hit the air horn one time for Big Jackaman? 2 times. Yeah. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Numbers on the board, about to talk some sports. That's what they came for. Oh, it's your boy KM. 45 minutes left in the AM. See, I'm on beat. They can't hear the beats. I see y'all in the chat. You're throwing the yours in the chat. You already know what it is when you hear that you're. The lone silencer in here. The lone silencer throwing a KM to AM in the chat. You know, the first couple minutes is just come on in. We're going to talk about the Knicks and Giannis. I'm going to get that out of the way quickly. You know, we'll talk about the potential trade. I just think there's no reason to talk about the trade deadline so much today. We're more than a week away. So that means we have more than a week to speculate and talk about it, unless it happens sooner. Let's see here. Let me kill the beat. My mic is good. Should my mic be a little louder? I'm turning my mic up a little louder. Mic check, 1, 2, like. Mic check, 1, 2, like. Make it do what it do, right. Okay. Let's start the show. But I don't really, like, have a show. Like, that's what I keep telling people. Like, this is not my new podcast. This is not my new YouTube show. I've had this studio in my apartment since I've lived in here. And when I have a show, you will know. When I have a show, you will know. Clap it up. Let me give everybody their love in the chat. Instagram, you guys are like siloed. So for those of you watching on Instagram, I'm sorry. You guys are out on the side a little bit. We're now live on TikTok. What should I call this? Tuesday TikTok Talkin Sports. You guys like sports? I'm about to start shifting my content for the people that are subscribing. I love people that love me, man, because I activated subscriptions on Facebook. I activated subscriptions on Instagram and YouTube, and I started noticing just like two, three, four people without me announcing, like, hey, subscriptions are live, signed up for the subscription. So that shows like people want to support. That shows people are down to spend money. That shows people are, really behind the brand. So I appreciate y'all. And what I'm going to do is build out the subscription based stuff, the like stuff behind a paywall. And the paywall is like $2.99. But what that's going to start off as is me testing my gym content. Me hitting the weights. You feel me? You're gonna see me like, all right, everybody. Today we're doing shoulders. Let's start with some above head presses. We'll go 4 sets of 12. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't rush. 5, 6, halfway. 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. 11, 12. So you guys will see what I do. You see what I do in the gym. And then also you'll see what I do at home, right? If you're going to do all that lifting, you also need to do some cooking and meal prep and eating properly. So if you follow me on Instagram, I think I put on my story dinners, daddy dinners, Chef Boyard Diesel. Every week I'm pretty much preparing dinner. My wife may cook, 2 or 3 times max, but especially with me not working right now, me not working the night shift, I have taken up that responsibility with pride, and I am going to the grocery store. I'm taking different recipes off of Instagram, and I am chefing up, whipping up. So you guys will see that on my page. And then also my baby, Jackson. Jackson is almost 3. And I think a lot of parents, if there's any parents in the chat, I think a lot of parents share in that feeling of like wanting to protect your kid, wanting to not put your kid all over the internet, not wanting your kid's face to just be all over the internet. Solo, I see you. We back in the gym, boy. I seen you picking up them 80-pound oohies. I seen you picking up them 80-pound weights, boy. Don't nobody want to pick up them heavy weights, boy. But yes, so my subscription-based content starting really now, but we're going to really launch that February, will be weight room, gym content, lifting content, cooking, recipes, meal prep, and then showing you boy, dad, no dad bod, fatherhood, being a parent, parenthood, and myself and my wife just taking care of my son every day. I had a conversation with my wife about how this is the next step, because I stepped down from my nighttime job at WFAN, and the reason that I did so was to make life easier at home and start to shift into a better work-life balance and a better routine and schedule. So I'm like, I can't tell the audience that and then keep the audience completely on the outside. So yeah, the boy is ready, my wife is ready, and I would really like to this year bring you guys inside my home, inside my life, so you can understand that, like, yeah, I'm a crazy sports fan. Yeah, I love sports, but I love my wife and my son more, and they're my why. They're my reason. They're the reason that I do all of this, and you'll start to see them, and you'll start to see, like, who I really am. So with that being said, shameless plug, got a promo. Again, if you're on Instagram popping in, we are doing this live on YouTube. We're doing this live on TikTok. We're doing this live on Twitter. We're doing this live on Twitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 platforms. And I'm about to start putting some stuff up on the screen. I'm about to start popping up some of this stuff on the screen. Like, boom. Like, you can't see this picture if you're on TikTok. You can't see this picture of me flexing if you're on Instagram. So I'm just saying, for a better viewing experience at home, you may want to switch platforms. If not, all good. If not, that's fine. Like, if not, do what you feel. Do what you feel now. Electric feel now. Look at that. Boom. As I'm saying it, The Ace Avenue, new member, became a member on YouTube. He paid for a subscription. You know what? Like, that's what I'm saying. People show me love, and all I'm going to ever do is show love back. So let's give a quick shout out to the Ace Avenue, DA Ace Avenue. And then when money comes in, we hit the, you guys heard that cash register? Cha-ching. Let me make my sound effects louder. There we go. And TikTok is rolling too. Let me try and put the TikTok chat over here so I can kind of keep y'all right next to everybody else. Instagram, you guys are a little siloed. Let me pull the Instagram camera in just a little bit more. Come here. Come here. All right. Okay. Okay, you guys are good now. Hopefully everybody stayed safe in the snow. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the weekend. We will talk Giannis. We will talk AFC Championship. We will talk AFC Championship. We'll talk about the bum-ass Brooklyn Nets for maybe 30 seconds. I just have one little graphic that I want to show there. And listen, I'm a Nets fan. I don't mind them being bums. You feel me? Like, I get it. Trust the process. Continue on being bums. But they're in a bad one where you don't even want to watch the games. But before we do that, going back, taking a couple steps back, I want to shout out, as I speak about giving back and showing love, big shout out to Bleecker Trading. Big shout out to everybody that came out to the first ever content creator roundtable. I can't tell you guys how proud I am, how pleased I was with the turnout, how almost like emotional. I didn't cry, but as I was up there speaking to everybody and I was looking at everybody, there was one question that got to me, and I keep telling people there was one question that got to me about, right now you could be just working on yourself, which I am. But, one of the questions was like, how do you get up every day and do what you do as far as like doing lives, doing other people's lives, doing other people's shows, doing other people's podcasts? I can't tell you how many conversations I've had in this last 2 months, not just about my future and what I'm going to do, but other people that are like, yo, I admire you. I loved your show on WFAN. Can you give me some free game? Like, can you give me some advice? We're going to start charging for that. Calendly.com. Go look up Keith McPherson on Calendly.com. I'm just running out of time for the free game. But if you showed up to this event this week, it was nothing but free game. And like-minded individuals in that building that were just talking about their journey, their struggle. And I got choked up because what I said was like, my motivation to get up every day and do what I'm doing right now when I could be chilling is knowing that I could help somebody else, knowing that I wanted help, knowing that I struggled and there was nobody helping me. There were times I cried because I felt like I didn't have any network, any connections. I felt like nobody was sending down the rope. So now that I'm on and I'm in the position I'm in, I'm sending down the rope for everybody to pull themselves up. There's too many crabs in the bucket. There's way too many crabs in the bucket that want to pull everybody down. One of the main things I said at this event was those that are hating aren't creating, and those that are creating should be collaborating. And if you look at my Instagram, how many collab posts do I have on my Instagram right now? And there's more coming. If you look at my Instagram, so many people made posts and, I shared them, I collabed with them, and there was just a lot of like-minded people in the building. So thank you for that. Also, thank you guys for watching my show. If you're on TikTok and you're on Instagram, you can't see this. Thank you guys for watching my show Friday on WFAN. I was back in the pocket. I was back in that lane again. I was back in that KM to AM. I was back in that vibe, and it felt good. But I'll say this. I was really trying to push WFAN's YouTube to get to 100K. I was really trying to push WFAN's YouTube that night to break 100K. I think we gained like 200 subs. WFAN YouTube channel is at 99.8K subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, hell, if you want to go right now and subscribe and watch Evan and Tiki, I'm not tripping off that. Evan and Tiki have been crushing it now in that midday spot on YouTube. No disrespect to BT and Sal, because they were phenomenal. They're a great tandem. They did a great show for years. But if you're paying attention like I'm paying attention to the numbers, Evan and Tiki's show holds, like, if I go look right now, bro, Evan and Tiki's show, and I know it's Tiki Barber and it's Evan Roberts, who's been on the Fan for 20 years plus. But that show, when they're streaming live on YouTube, holds anywhere from right now 1,400 people watching. You know what I'm saying? They've got 1.4K people watching, and I'm on StreamYard. I can share this right now. And of course, I'm gonna plug WFAN, and I'm gonna promote WFAN. I'll be back on the Fan on Friday at 7, and like, I'm forever in the pantheon of WFAN hosts. I want WFAN to win. I want WFAN to succeed. I want WFAN to be stronger and bigger. I just could no longer do what I was doing at night for my own mental health, my own family. But, like, that doesn't mean I'm looking at WFAN like, to hell with them. Hell no. Hell no. Like, I made my name off WFAN over the last 4 years. So why would I not be on here telling y'all, subscribe, so that WFAN can get to 100K subs this week? I want to see that WFAN banner or that WFAN plaque that'll say YouTube 100K subs, WFAN Sports Talk Radio New York. So, yes, and again, back on the Fan Friday at 7 p.m. It'll be a quick one until 9:20, leading up to Brooklyn Nets basketball, and we'll catch a vibe again. But like I said, right now, if you're looking at my YouTube, my Twitter, my Twitch, Evan and Tiki are on right now. And shout out to Evan doing the stand-up. I did the stand-up for years, and people looked at me funny. They looked at me sideways for doing the stand-up. Well, I used to have lower back problems, and then I realized it was coming out of the pandemic, and nobody cares. Shout out to Evan and Tiki for rocking the midday. They had an excellent show during the John Harbaugh presser, and they're killing right now. They're killing right now. So subscribe to WFAN YouTube. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube, what you doing? What's going on? What's going on? If you're on YouTube, hit that hit that thumbs up, and we're about to get into the sports talk, but I just had some general housekeeping. So let's go through the chat, and then when we get to the 20-minute mark, I want to start with the AFC Championship. We'll talk about the snow. We'll talk about Drake May. We'll talk about Jared Stidham, Sean Payton. We'll talk about the Patriots. My wife is a Patriots fan, and I was thinking back to all these years that I've been around my wife since 2009, and I'm like, she's just always watched her team win. Always watched her team in the Super Bowl. I'm like, I've watched mad Super Bowls with you geeked up wearing Patriots stuff, and like, that's why I'm not a stupid-ass Cowboys fan anymore. That's why I can't rock with them, bro. That's why I'm like, yo, shit. I'm like, I cannot be a Dallas fan. 30 years not even getting to the conference championship. But all right, let's show some people some love in the chat. My guy, Chris, bro, you were missed in that room, Chris. I know if you could have made it, and granted, everybody came out there in 15-degree weather. Everybody came out there and froze their ass off, but we vibed. We had hot hands. We had some hot pizza. We did hot takes in the cold weather. Stay tuned for the next edition of Hot Takes in the Cold Weather. But, Chris, you were missed in that room, bro. Jules was there. James was there from Cashing Out NYC. And, we just had a good vibe with different Yankee fans and whatnot in the building. So let me give some other people some love on YouTube. Are you going to Pinstripe Pride? I am not. I am booked for another podcast. I'm an artist, not a salesman. Shout out to my guy, Luis. I got to go do his podcast in studio, in person on Saturday. I will not be at Pinstripe Pride. Adam says, so shout out to RCappy2212. Adam G6 says, what's going on, Keith? You going to be at the Devils game tonight? I'm not. And honestly, I need to get back to going to Devils games. But I've said this a few times, like, you can't quit your nighttime job and talk about needing to be home with your family and like spending more time with your son and helping your wife and then pop up at Devils games every time they're home. I went to all those Yankee games this year. I have not been to one Nets game. I was supposed to go when they were playing the Jokic, but Jokic got hurt and my son got sick, so I didn't go. I haven't been to a Devils game since opening night. I need to reach out to them because I do want to do an event, and I'll just plant the seed. I do want to do an event in March, and you could probably guess which team would be best to do an event at. So shout out to the Devils, man. The Devils cooking, rolling, good road trip, and the Devils have kind of righted the ship some, and we can see a path to where we need to be in the division. We can see a path to where we need to be for the playoffs. Jesus of Methelham, what's up, Keith? What's up? I see you on Instagram. The TikTok chat is being ignored, but I'm going to get back to you guys. I'm just going to YouTube first because honestly, the YouTube is where we're building, where we're monetized, where you need to be. eBug says, Keith, miss you, bro. I was on WFAN 11 to 2 in that capacity, and I appreciate that. Anybody that says, I miss you, but I know you guys are missing me in that nighttime role. I did Friday. I'll do this Friday, and I'm here. I didn't die. I'm still around. So, we don't got to do the, I'll be missing you song. It's kind of hard when you nod around. Know you're in Jersey smiling down. What's the play for the Super Bowl? Okay, so now we got to do something here. We got to do something here, We got to do something here real quick. Hold on. Let's see if I can get back to it. I post so much stuff now because I got a call from Meta. I got a call from somebody else. They're like, we've noticed you've been posting a lot. And I'm like, yeah, that was the plan. That was the plan to ramp up. So here, let's do this. Shout out to Gordon Damer. Sometimes you probably hear Gordon Damer on at night on WFAN. And Gordon Damer had me on his podcast. And I will play, and you probably, if you follow me, you heard this. But I will play this, and then I will tell you some of my thoughts on the Super Bowl. So let's share screen. And let's go to myself on Gordon Damer's podcast, Monday, January 12th. So this is right after the divisional round. I gave you my thoughts, and I said this right here.
Who do you think, if you had to pick it right now, who's the team you think that is a real contender?
I've come to the realization that we're going to get another Seahawks-Patriots Super Bowl. Seahawks-Patriots
really?
Super Bowl. Just fast forward the years to now, right? It's not Russell Wilson versus Tom Brady. It's not Belichick versus Pete Carroll, but there's still some characters there that
Robert Kraft.
We all kind of know from Vrabel, and I mean Seattle's all different now. But I think Seattle's got a cakewalk. The 12th man.
I said Seattle's got a
playing
cakewalk.
in their building. The first
they said the
round
Patriots got a
Now they're
cakewalk.
gonna
Seattle's
match up
got a
against the Niners
cakewalk
again, who they held to 3 points a couple weeks ago. That's an easy win. I don't really believe in the Bears, the cardiac Bears. They were able to come back.
1 minute, this is going to
and
finish
beat
playing.
the
Instagram,
Packers,
TikTok,
but I don't
you
think
can't
that they're
see,
taking that show on the road. In the AFC as well. I mean, the Patriots had a tough one out the gate.
And I told y'all about Josh Allen
still
all
won
week
by 13 points or whatever it was. And I mean, win ugly. I don't care how you win ugly. And I don't really trust Josh Allen. I know everybody's saying it's Josh Allen's year, but I'm waiting on him to have a turnover, a costly turnover, or miss a wide receiver, or do something like that, fumble the ball, throw a pick, and not get it done. Probably against the Broncos defense coming up. I just think the Patriots have enough on offense, and their defense is tough, and that's what travels and wins in the playoffs. I think the Broncos could lose to the to the Bills, but I'm like, I wanted to see somebody different win it and do it, but I'm like,
Seahawks.
I think we're gonna see another Seahawks-Patriots Super Bowl.
Okay, so exiting out of there for the people that are on Twitter or on TikTok and Instagram, I said defense travels and defense wins championships. And when I was looking at the defenses, I'm like, this Patriots defense and the Seahawks defense, they're going to get there. When I said I felt like the Seahawks had a cakewalk, what I meant was the Seahawks were playing two teams in their division. They won their division. They had to beat the 49ers, who they beat 13-3 like 2 weeks before. They had to beat the Rams, who like a month before they beat in the same building. I knew they were going to beat them again. And yeah, with that being said, might as well roll into some of this other stuff. But I do want to give y'all the love in the chat. So put a pin in that. Seahawks, I believe, win the Super Bowl. And I called it weeks out that it would be Seahawks Patriots. I knew CJ Stroud was being carried by that defense. I knew that Josh Allen was going to give the game away. If you watch Josh Allen enough over the years, he's a turnover machine. They love him. But if I'm a Bills fan, I'm looking at Josh Allen and saying, you did this to me. I felt like it was pretty plain to see. So, need you back on the overnights. Somebody said that to me recently. I never did the overnight, but I understand. When it goes into 2 a.m., it feels like overnight. I was the nighttime host for 4 years, and there is no new overnight guy, but I know people are feeling it because it's like, especially Yankee fans, as I see in the chat, they're like, yo, Keith, please let me know what our Yankee bullpen situation is. Who the hell is our closer? David Bednar. And then R Cappy 2212 said David Bednar. I know people are going to feel it when we get to baseball season because the last, I think, 2 seasons, if you're a Yankee fan and you stayed up till 2, 3 in the morning after Yankee games, you could hear me and then hear Big Mac just talk about the Yankees. Of course, talk about the Mets. Talk about just a little bit of Mets. But, now it's like it's completely flipped. It's Tommy Lugauer and it's Al Cintrone. So you go from 2 Yankee fans to 2 Met fans after the Yankee game. Oh, no. Let me see what else they said. Sound equipment is on point. Whatever you did is much better. Yeah, I've been tinkering with all of this. This is a good microphone. I've been tinkering with all of this, and the mic is good. I have 3 other mics. I have 2 Elgato mics. Shout out to the good folks at Elgato. You're watching me right now on an Elgato virtual 4K face cam, and Elgato is so solid. They've been hooking me up for years. You can't see right here, but my soundproofing in front of me is Elgato as well, and then even some of my LED lights are Elgato. They're super solid. Let's continue, and then we'll get back to the NFC Championship. Ginger Cuz, Eamon Worry, Tariq Woolen, that taunting call, the 12th man, the Pacific Northwest, how happy I am for them after the Mariners couldn't get it done. The Ace Avenue, YERRRR was good, KM. I heard your event was lit. Proud of you. Keep grinding. I'm just trying to help people, bro. I'm just like, what? The greatest human act is to inspire. What are we if we are not using our platforms, our knowledge to help others out? Like, you're a loser if you win in life and God blesses you and you don't pass those blessings on to other people. Like, you're a lame to me. And I know a lot of lames like that, I asked some people to plug me, help me out when I was coming up, and they acted like they couldn't hear me. They acted like the message didn't go through. So, like, I go out of my way to respond to people's DMs, respond to people's emails, do people's podcasts. I've done hundreds of podcasts for myself. Why can't I do people's guest spots? And I am. Let's see. Need that KM to AM shirt still? E-Boogs, DM me. I'll send you one. We got the freaking, let's see. I wasn't even really like selling these Johns, but we got the YERRRR hoodies and shirts in stock now. We got the YERRRR, you know how I get on the fan and I'd be like, YERRRR. We got the YERRRR tees in stock. Like, physically got them. I sold a couple at the event. Holler at me if you're looking for that. Got the YERRRR hoodie. Feel me? I tucked the one lock. The gamer says, the GOAT. Appreciate you, bro. They say that I'm goated. Freestyle Friday, but I wrote it. Lights on, cameras on, roll it. I'm already running. Keep it 100. They said I couldn't do it, but I done it. Let's see here. Adam says, I'm 100% giving up the Nets for Lent. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's merch right there. Those who are hating aren't creating. Those who are creating should be collaborating. And that's what I was saying when I was speaking to everybody at the event, right? We even had some goofies pop in my chat. We even have some goofies on TikTok. The goofies are always around. They don't create. They don't make videos. They don't go live. They don't have any followers. They can only be seen by being haters. And I said in 2026, we're not giving them the platform. We're not giving them the time of day because there's too much love out there. And like, if you've ever built something online from zero to something, you won't hate on the next man because you understand the grind. You feel me? Like, if you've ever built something up from nothing to something, why would you hate on somebody that was where you were? Why would you mock somebody, make fun of somebody? And it's funny because like I just saw somebody in my chat. It was like, what are you, live from your basement, bro? Like, I don't even flex. Like, I don't even flex. Like, I have a 3-bedroom apartment. This is a 3rd room in my apartment. Do the math. Do the math. How much do you think apartments cost around here? Like, I'm not in my basement. I'm not in my mom's house. I haven't lived in my mom's house. I can't recall the last year I lived in my mom's house. But get your jokes off, goofies. Get your jokes off, clowns. That's all you can do. And like, you're popping up in my chat. You're popping up in my live. The algorithm doesn't recognize you as a goofy. I do. The algorithm just goes, bing, another view, bing, another person watching, bing, another number. So you're just adding to my numbers. If you don't rock with me, be out. If you don't rock with me, why give me any numbers? Why give me your one number? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Brew Crew's in here. Says, what's going on, guys? Ebook says, nice, I'll catch you Friday. Pinstripe Bugle, hit me up, bro. I see your stuff. I see you starting to put your stuff out. Hope all is well. And let's see. I got hosed on Stidham's pass attempts. Oh, I wouldn't have bet on that. I wouldn't have bet on that. I wouldn't have bet on that. My guy Chris with the bing, 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 bing with the super chat. I always say if you're throwing money in the chat, you get priority. So Chris writes, Keith, when you get a chance, what is your hot take for the Yankees season? I think Cade Winquist, the Rule 5 draft pick, makes the team. We will end with some Yankees talk. I'm going to be live for a while, probably until like the Caster show starts. So I'm going to be live for a minute. I haven't really even dove into all the football yet because I just want to see some of y'all in the chat and give y'all love. I appreciate the love. We're about to clear the YouTube chat. We will go to TikTok in a minute. And yeah, Troy goes, do you also cover NBA? Yeah, I started off saying there's no point in doing all of this talk about Giannis to the Knicks right now. Are they going to trade Cat? Are they going to trade Mikal Bridges? We will do that conversation. We will also talk about the Brooklyn Nets. We will do that. Instagram, I'm not trying to neglect you guys either. Big Yankee fan 2332 says you are missed on the fan, bro. I will be back on the fan on Friday. I repeat, I will be back on the fan on Friday. And what I hope is that I can continue doing what I told you guys I was going to do, which is be on as a fill-in, be on as a part-time host, be on as a, alumni of WFAN University that comes back from here and there. They couldn't make the morning show Boomer and Keith. They couldn't make the midday show Evan, Tiki, and Keith. They couldn't make the afternoon show the Keith McPherson Show featuring Carton and Chris. So I'm doing some things, bros, and I appreciate y'all, man. Let's get into it, yo. Let's actually start banging out some of this stuff. Let's see. Would have thought it's 2026 and Keith's still talking about Mets players. Would have thought it's 2026 and you're still talking about Keith talking about Mets players like Keith isn't a New York City-based radio host, content creator, influencer that talks about baseball. Without further ado, man, let's get into the freaking football. Why don't we? So going back to the AFC Championship game, the first conversation that I wanted dead is this. Oh, it should be played in a dome. It should be played at a neutral site. It should be played where it's warm. Then what the hell is the point of having the number 1 seed? What the hell is the point of having the number 1 seed and having an outdoor stadium in the altitude where Denver plays? Have you guys ever been to Empower Field at Mile High Stadium? I've never been inside. I've been to Denver plenty of times, 3 times, but I've never been in there. I've seen it. I've been in Coors Field a bunch of times. But anyway, what I'm saying is that is to your advantage. Why would you want to dead that? Why would you want to not have your home field advantage by playing indoors because someone feels like it should be an equal playing field. No, it's football. It's not basketball. It's not ice hockey. It's not even baseball, where a lot of these baseball teams do have retractable roofs and, can kind of like, dictate whether they're going to play inside or outside. Like I remember back when the Yankees played at Minute Maid Park, when it was Minute Maid Park, and, the Astros decided to keep the roof open. And then like, okay, if the ball doesn't fly out a certain way, you feel some type of way, whatever. What I'm going to say is the Broncos were not winning that game with Jarrett Stidham. Sorry, they weren't. The NFL does not want a backup quarterback in the Super Bowl. I know it's been a while. We're due for one, right? It's been a long time since Nick Foles. It's been a long time since Jeff Hostetler. This Super Bowl had to have the Patriots. It had to have the cachet of the New England Patriots. They fired Gerard Mayo. Mike Vrabel comes in. He gets them right back to where we're so used to seeing them. If you heard the stream before, I said my wife is a Patriots fan, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about the Patriots have so many Super Bowl appearances. And as long as I've been with my wife now, I'm like, damn, I've watched like 6. I think this might be the 6th Super Bowl that I've watched with the Patriots in it, bro. I'm like, that's crazy. As a matter of fact, let's do that. Because I picked the Patriots. I knew the Patriots were going to win. I knew the Patriots were not going to lose that game under any circumstance to a backup quarterback. So just stop right there. I know you guys want to play this game as if like, oh, it'd been a different story if it wasn't snowing out. Yeah, whatever. They coached that game well. Drake May made the plays he had to make. And yeah, so let's see. 1986, I wasn't alive. But, that team for the Patriots, they lost to the arguably best team ever, the 86 Bears. 97, I was alive. I remember Brett Favre beating Drew Bledsoe in the Patriots. 2002, of course I remember that. Greatest show on turf. They beat those guys. Even the one in 2004, like, Tom Brady was going on this run young, early. And it's kind of scary, right? Isn't it scary that Drake May is younger than Tom Brady and he's in the Super Bowl? We've only just begun. We've only just begun. The Patriots they're primed to get back to multiple Super Bowls over the next few years. So if you're like me and you're sick of the Patriots, you better get some Pepto-Bismol. Okay, so 2004, they go and beat the Carolina Panthers. And 2008, they lose to the Giants. Thank God for the Giants. Shout out to the Giants fans. We will get to the new coaching hires under John Harbaugh as you're starting to see the Giants come together. You're starting to see what John Harbaugh is doing this fast to change the culture there. Let's see what you're saying. Bills got their new head coach. Joe Brady, 5-year deal. Hold on, folks. We got breaking news, and I will come back to it. We have breaking news. And I know that I had a take on Joe Brady. Let's go to WFAN. Let's search WFAN for Keith McPherson, Joe Brady. People laughed at the take when I suggested Joe Brady to be a potential interviewee for the Giants, but he's a good coach. He's a good offensive mind. And I don't know who they bring in. But I like the hire for the continuity. I like the hire for Josh Allen. I like the hire because he's young. I like the hire because they were about to interview Phillip Rivers, and that would have been crazy. I don't know if I can find this take right now, but I remember that take, and people were like, what? I'm like, just because you're not familiar with Joe Brady's game, don't look at me funny. Don't look at me sideways. It was the night that we learned, like, honestly, that night we ripped off so many different names, from Doug Peterson to Mike McCarthy to John Gruden to Brian Flores, a bunch of guys that were not getting the opportunity to coach the New York Football Giants. And we were kind of reaching for who it might be. And I don't know, I threw out Joe Brady. Somebody called that night to WFAN and they said they should hire one of the coaches from Army, Navy, or the Air Force to install some discipline into the team. No. So as much of a clown show as the Bills have been over the last week, I do think Joe Brady is a good hire. I do like the hire of Joe Brady right here. So congratulations to Joe Brady. We'll put that up on the screen right now. Joe Brady becomes the next head coach of the Buffalo Bills, and they have a new stadium coming. They have a new stadium coming. I don't have to clap. I have sound effects. I don't have to clap. I have sound effects. They've got a new stadium coming, so they're ushering in a new era, and that era will be led by Joe Brady. So what I'll say is this. Joe Brady, if you remember, he was at LSU with that undefeated LSU team. Don't you dare compare Indiana to that undefeated LSU team that had Joe Burrow, that had Justin Jefferson, that had Jamar Chase. He was the pass game coordinator after that, I believe, in Carolina. Then he went to New Orleans, and then he got with the Bills. Let me make sure I'm right on his Wikipedia. He's also a William & Mary guy. Shout out to William & Mary. We used to go down there and play them when I was at JMU. He played wide receiver at William & Mary, kind of around the time I was there, right after me, actually. So he was with the New Orleans Saints in 2017, 2018 as an offensive assistant. He was the LSU pass game coordinator and wide receivers coach in 2019, a historic year. He went to the Carolina Panthers for 2 years, 2020, 2021, and he's been with the Buffalo Bills ever since. That keeps the continuity with Josh Allen in that offense. I'll be interested to see who they hire as offensive coordinator. I'll be interested to see, because Brian Daboll was interviewing for the head coaching job. So he's out there. Is Brian Daboll going to go join Rob Saleh? Let's see. I'm going to tweet that. Is Brian Daboll about to join Rob Saleh? Shout out to Bleecker Trading again. Just because I just went back to Twitter, we'll share this. Just because it's right there on the screen, for some folks that didn't make it out. And I understand. Bro, it was so cold. I took the train in just to feel the energy. And as I'm walking there, I'm like, this is New York. This is the winter. You got to brave through the cold. It is what it is. But it was brick. It was brick out there, boy. It was like hands got to be covered. Face got to be covered. We tried to tough it out. We tried to be, men out there in the cold, but they're like, yo, not for too long. Shout out to La Industry Pizza. Had that jumping. You guys could take a quick look. There's my boy DeAndre McKenzie. That's me speaking on the mic with the owner. My boy Hector won a hat. We vibed in there. My young boys, Ben and Andrew. There's George right there. We gave out giveaways. That's another thing, too. It was a free event with free giveaways, and all we did was share vibes and good times and spread the love. So, again, shout out to everybody that came out to Bleecker Trading. Let's keep it rolling. Let's go back to what I was speaking on with the AFC Championship. So, a bounce back for Tony Romo. Tony Romo had the call where he said a turnover would be catastrophic here, and they weren't winning that game with Jarrett Stidham. Again, they were not winning that game with Jarrett Stidham. Eddie Mata, I see you, bro. Eddie Mata said he got stuck in Florida. Getting stuck in Florida the last 3 days, that's a win. You don't want to be stuck in New York with the amount of snow that we had and how cold it's been. Like being stuck in Miami or wherever you were, Jacksonville, Boca Raton, Key West, wherever you might have been. You played it right, my boy. You played it smart. But, shout out to Tony Romo for bouncing back because he had a rough outing. He called Josh Allen Patrick Mahomes. He was glazing the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they were not about to beat the Bills at home. But ultimately, Sean Payton, come on down, buddy. First off, Jarrett Stidham did have that deep ball to Marvin Mims to get them in scoring position, and that was the first big play and touchdown of the game. But then once he turned that ball over like that, that allowed Drake May to run into the end zone and score that touchdown, and that was the game right there. Like, this is a backup quarterback who has not been taking live bullets. This is a backup quarterback that has not been in live action. And you could tell early in that game, the nervous energy, they were fired up because this is to go to the Super Bowl, right? I love football. I love football. I miss that energy of, like, a high-stakes football game where you're playing for something. Like, not the first round of the playoffs, not the second round of the playoffs. Like, this is the AFC Championship to go to the dance, to go to the big game. And they were ratcheted up. But ultimately, Jarrett Stidham coughs the ball up. Let me see if I can pull that play up. I can pull that play up before we continue on. Jarrett Stidham coughs the ball up there, and it was a stupid play. And it was the officiating in the NFL is trash, bro. I swear it is trash, bro. I swear it's just like it doesn't make any damn sense. And if you follow me on Twitter and if you just follow me on podcasts and radio, what do I call the NFL? Yo, Jonathan in Los Angeles, I see you, bro. Appreciate you, fam. I call the NFL bogus because I feel like it's hella bogus. I feel like the officiating is all over the place, and it doesn't make any damn sense most of the time. So let me share screen here. Share screen, and let's go to the play. Right? Tuck rule. You guys remember that? Tuck rule all those years ago? Like, this is crazy, bruh. You guys are looking at this play on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch. That's a fumble. Chris Ellis came in and wrecked his shit. And I don't know what Jarrett Stidham was thinking right there. As a quarterback, when you are that deep in your own territory, literally inside the 15-yard line, protect the ball. That's what I mean. Difference between a backup quarterback seeing live bullets for the first time in over a year. Like Jarrett Stidham, yo, you've got the whole Broncos country, let's riding with you. Protect the ball at all costs. There was a narrative out there which was, floating around from something Bill Parcells said when Jeff Hostetler won the Super Bowl for the Giants. And Bill Parcells addressed his team and said, it's not going to be Jeff that loses us this game. It's going to be one of you knuckleheads making a mistake. Well, quite the contrary. It was Jarrett Stidham. Because Jarrett Stidham, I don't know what that was. He was trying to do a push pass. He did another push pass in the game where I'm like, why is everybody trying to be Pat Mahomes, bro? What the hell is going on? But yeah, I keep replaying that. And even watching that, they just called it wrong. They just blew it dead. Play is ruled a fumble and Patriots ball. Jack Settleman wrote, I have no clue how this is ruled a backwards pass. He's clearly pushing the ball forward and it gets deflected and lands behind him. You can say he fumbled, but don't say it's a backwards pass. I don't know. Whatever, bro. I just know the NFL is janky. I know that these officials don't know. I know that these officials are out there in real time and they're trying to figure it out like we're trying to figure it out at home. And you don't have to be the smartest football guy. You don't have to be a referee to figure that out. But ultimately, that game swung with the weather. So, Sean Payton has made an entire career off of one onside kick and has otherwise been one of the worst playoff coaches in football history. Think back to New Orleans. Sean Payton is 62. He's been a head coach for 18 seasons. He's 13th in all-time wins. Not taking the field goal to go up 10 at home in the AFC title was one of the worst aggressive play calls I've ever seen, especially when you consider the weather. Yo, big Yank fan, appreciate you. I'm going to be live for a while. So if you're off Instagram and you want to come to TikTok or YouTube, I think it's best viewed on TikTok. But yeah, going back to Sean Payton not going for the field goal, going for it on fourth down. And you don't have Bo Nix. Bo Nix is more athletic than Jarrett Stidham. When you have Bo Nix, he can create with his legs. Bo Nix, some games, was their best rushing option because they had them two little puny backs. They had them two little baby backs, Jaleel McLaughlin and R.J. Harvey. They didn't have Dobbins, right? And leading up to the game, Dobbins was practicing, but Dobbins couldn't go. Dobbins got ruled out, bro. So with Dobbins getting ruled out, they were at a disadvantage, in my opinion. And I just think that Sean Payton deserves a lot of blame there because of the way it shook out. The way it shook out, the Patriots only needed 10 points to beat them. In the beginning of the game, the Patriots weren't doing a damn thing, you know? Copy by Andrew says, missed the Talkin Nets podcast, bro. I still own all the properties. It can come back. For people that have been, and people have been checking on it, and I have a new idea for how to bring Talkin Nets back. This YouTube channel was started with Talkin Nets. Shout out to Gabe, too. the Nets are not worth doing a bi-weekly or not bi-weekly. The Nets are not worth doing a twice-a-week podcast on. They're not worth doing a twice-a-month podcast on right now. Tank. But I understand Net fans need a place to go. There's a few people out there doing good content. Locked on Nets, Big Fan Breezy. And, you know, if you're a Nets fan and you want to hear Nets fans talk, go on Nets Twitter. They have spaces every night after the games. But me, I wasn't making no money off of doing the Nets podcast. My son was born. I stopped going to as many games. But I do have an idea. I've been in touch with the Brooklyn Nets recently. I do have an idea for how to bring it back because I do see potential in this Nets team. But not right now. Not right now. What's the point? What's the point? Anywho, so Sean Payton not taking that field goal to go up with 10 points, it comes back to burn them because look what the defense did. I said in the beginning of the game, the Patriots were 3 and out. They had nothing going. They were, Drake May was just dropping the ball underneath, dropping it off, checking it down. He could not get anything going downfield. The Broncos defense forced the Patriots to punt on each of their first 4 drives. The first time all season a team has forced the Patriots to do so. And so the narrative about the Patriots not playing anybody, the Patriots never played anybody, I understood that, but they don't make the schedule. They don't choose who they're going to play. And I feel like they played the game that they had to play in Denver to beat Denver. Drake May had to make plays. Drake May is the first QB in NFL history to throw for under 100 yards in the AFC Championship and win the game. He did it with his legs. He made plays with his legs. He did it with his legs. He made plays with his legs. As a quarterback, and we forget sometimes that he can run, he's an athlete. It's not always about throwing the ball. Definitely not in the elements. Definitely not in the snow. There was nowhere for them to go with the ball early in the game. And once they recognized that, I think, there was a play where Vrabel had him throw it out of bounds. Let's pull some of this stuff up here. So I showed the whole, right, John Gruden said, did you say tuck rule? John Gruden's still living in that, what was that, 2002? With the Patriots and the Raiders. It was just stupid. It was not a backwards pass. Let me see if I can get out of here. Yeah, this is the one right here. This one's going to haunt them for a long time. This one, and you know what? Not for nothing. Sean Payton is the type of guy, I do feel like he's got a lot of karma because he does carry himself as like a, I don't want to even say. But this play right here, bro, this play right here.
We talked about, I think.
I mean, it should have been picked. It wouldn't matter. It would have been just a yard difference. But right now, you're up 7-0 early in the game. You have a backup quarterback. Take the points. Take the points. Take the points and go up 10-0. And then maybe you have a chance in some type of late game situation. Overtime, it was hard to kick. It was hard to see out there. But that's on Sean Payton. And I get the whole Riverboat Ron, Dan Campbell, go for it type of approach. But not with your backup quarterback and not when there's a forecast. They know. They have advanced weather forecasts and stuff. Somebody had to tell them, like, yo, it's about to snow like crazy. Who are you talking to? City Kid Brother? You guys are talking to yourselves in the chat. I'm about to bang the Instagram, as a matter of fact. How long have we been live? I was saying on Instagram, and shout out to you guys that are still in here. I was saying on Instagram, I promoted on Instagram that I was doing the live, but I was only going live on Instagram to prompt you guys to go to a platform that you can see this in landscape, not portrait, so you can see the other thing. So, yo, appreciate you guys watching. I'm out. But I'm not out because I'm going to stay live for at least another hour. So, see you when I see you. Appreciate the love. Boom, 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 boom. Peyton Pimp passed his stop on that one. Yeah, you're right. Sean Payton is a guy that was involved with the Bounty Gate. I remember Sean Payton had some stuff to say about Nathaniel Hackett and the Jets. Oh, the reporter, which I didn't mind it because I thought it was funny, but a lot of people took it and like ran with it. The reporter that talked about like Dre Greenhall attacking downhill, and Sean Payne's like, what the hell do you know about attacking downhill? You don't know anything about attacking downhill, bro. Like basically saying like you're not a football guy. You're a writer. Chill out, bro. I didn't have any problem with it, but I know a lot of people did. It's karma. It just comes back to bite you. It's like not only did he have karma, like you lost your starting quarterback in Bo Nix the week before, and then you lost the game. And you could argue that you lost the game because you went for it on 4th down instead of just taking the points early in the game. And that is on you, coach. Let's see. Peter Jeanette, I feel like you've said this a bunch of times in the chat. Let me go back and double check. Now I'm on the TikTok chat. It might not have been you. Yeah, Peter Jeanette. Peter Jeanette has asked this at least 3 times. Why did you leave WFAN for this? Would I be on WFAN at 12:08 in the afternoon? No. Would I be on WFAN at 11 o'clock in the morning when I'd started this? No. Is this my full-time job? No. Have I announced that you can find me on KM Live streaming every Tuesday? No. No, I'm in the crib, bro. I'm in the crib. I'm doing what I naturally do, connect with people and talk sports. But to answer your question, I didn't leave WFAN with the thought of, I'm going to go live. And that'll reach more people than WFAN. That'll make me more money than WFAN. No, you'd have to be a fool. What I'm doing is continuing to stay sharp on my sports knowledge and speaking, also growing my social channels. And again, like, I don't know how to say this. I am 37 years old. There are people in this radio and television industry that are 30 years older than me. I have a college degree in communication, radio, and television. I now have 4 years of radio experience at the #1 sports talk radio station in the country, the Market One first ever sports talk radio station. If you think that this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, you got to think harder about things. You have to actually think harder about what I am, what I've done, and what I'm potentially going to do. This is fun. My guy Ray is in the chat. Ray said, I got to go eat lunch in a few, but I'll definitely be back or try to, get back before you get off. Shout out to Ray. Ray knows. He says, yo, no need to say it to all silly people because I get it. There's going to become a time where I'm not as available. There's going to become a time where I can't do this from home as much. But to answer Peter Jeanette, did I leave WFAN to stream? No, I haven't even streamed in like 5 days. I was being a dad. I was being a family man. I also was hosting an event at Bleecker Trading. I also was hosting a radio show Friday night on WFAN. So as many people keep saying, did you leave WFAN to live stream? No, I'm still on WFAN and under contract. I'm still a part of WFAN, but in a part-time capacity. No? Yes? No, people just rather be like,
You're fired. You're fired.
Oh, they can't hear that on TikTok. I got the Donald Trump drop, you're fired. People rather just be like,
You're fired.
You're fired. Or people be like, you left WFAN to live stream? No. You guys think I'm dumb? you guys think I'm stupid? You guys think I'm that dumb? You must think that are you stupid? Are you dumb? Anyway, back to the show. Let's take a quick break here. I'll drop some beats for you. I want to change the color too. Okay, we got beats playing now. I'm gonna change the color from navy blue to black. Okay. All right, cool. And I'm gonna change some up. I'm gonna change the lighting up. This is gonna be like we're an hour in, so this will be the second half of the live stream. Okay. Because now that I got my phone back from Instagram, I can change the lights up in here. You feel me? Hey, going live all the time. I kick a rhyme. I'm doing fine. I know y'all feel me. I know y'all see me. One day I'ma be doing the radio and TV. Hey. All right, blue light. We go blue light. Yeah. I'm chilling in the crib. You know what it is. You know who it is. You know I do this. It's your boy K-Mac. All I do is stay black. Stay on track. Stacks on stacks. Stacks on deck. Hey, stacks on deck. I'm doing okay. Every day, all day, my own way. Like Frank Sinatra, I did it my own way. They listen to what I say all day and every day. Hey, okay. Okay. Get out my way, get out my way, get out my way. Yo, I don't play, oh, I don't play, oh, I don't play. All right, I'll be right back. Yo, just need to get some water real quick, stretch my legs real quick. Feel me? Let's get back into it. Oh, I had to sneeze. Okay. And just like that, I'm back. Thanks for waiting. Let's do this again.
Another one.
A little bit after 12, quarter after 12 here on Tuesday, January 27th. Keith McPherson checking back in live from the McPherson Brand Studios, 3-bedroom apartment in Hoboken, New Jersey, Jersey City, New Jersey. Same difference. I'm not going to dox myself and give you my address, but shout out to all the people that support what I'm doing. Shout out to all the people out here that understand what I'm doing, that understand the movement, understand the motion from ocean, understand that I could be anywhere in the world, but I'm here with you, and I appreciate you. So, yeah, even the nerd haters in the chat, like, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, algorithm don't know no difference. They don't know you're a loser. The algorithm, the counter, they don't know that you're a dweeb ass. They don't know that you suck at life. They could find some type of AI way to read your comment and be like, this guy sucks. But they don't know. They just count them up. They just keep it rolling. So I appreciate you adding to my account. I appreciate you adding to my final tally and numbers in TikTok Live Studio and YouTube and Twitter and all this stuff. Like, I appreciate it because as I'm having meetings and conversations, people want to know, hey, when you go live, how many people you pull? Hey, but what's your engagement? How many impressions? How many a week? How many a month? And you don't really do this like that? No, I was doing nighttime radio for 4 years. I was posting some stuff, but like, no, I'm not a full-time content creator. I'm not a full-time influencer. I have a degree and a resume. I will return to doing radio and television and other things. I also have a modeling contract. Some of you may have seen my last modeling work in the Short Hills Mall, working on doing some castings and doing some stuff with that. And I gotta get the boy dad no dad bod right. So, yeah, man. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Let's see if I missed anything. Stoner Detective, tell him to mind his business. Hey, in this business, everybody minds your business. I've learned that. If you want to be a public figure, if you want to speak to the public, if you want to put your face, name, image, likeness out there, it comes with the territory. You just got to be able to take it. And I think I handle it pretty well. Chris Gomez pulled up. What's up, Chris? Yankee girl. She is a Yankee homer. She said, I love everything he has of the Yankees. Do you see the Knicks getting Drew Holiday? I don't, but what do I know? What I said is just like, I can't do the speculation right now as far as the NBA. I can't do the speculation right now as far as the trade rumors. Let's react when it happens, right? I will go live if I'm at home and I'm not at a meeting or I'm not at a lunch or I'm not at somebody's office or somebody's studio. If I'm here, which I am today, or if I'm not, watching my son because it's a snow day, I will go live and I will talk about whoever gets traded wherever. I will go live and I will talk about Giannis and Drew Holiday and whoever it is. So I feel like my face looks weird, bro. What the hell is up with this? I feel like I look like claymated. I know I got the blue light. Let me see here. Let me turn the studio light off. I think that's what was doing it. I think it was the studio light. I was like, what the hell happened to my face? I look like I got, like, my face is putty face. Anywho, back to what we were talking about, man. The AFC Championship. To close on that, I do want to go back to what I was saying with the freaking Patriots. Sucks. Unless you're a Patriots fan. Like I said, my wife is a Patriots fan. Not for nothing. I would allow my son to be a Patriots fan. I would allow it. I'm not going to do it. I can't go there. I can't do it. But like with this many Super Bowl appearances, right? They've been to 11 Super Bowls. And like they just did it without Belichick and Brady. That is Robert Kraft and an organization that is the model of consistency, and they set the bar for winning. And I can't hate on it. I can hate on it as far as saying I can never join them, but I can't hate excellence. I can't hate hate winning. I want to be a winner. I've won my entire life, and people hate on me, and I'm not winning at this level. So I always find when people hate on greatness, that's the term. You're hating on greatness. You're hating on an organization that has found a way to be great and be a king in the NFL, which is king. And we'll get to the Seahawks in a minute, too, because they deserve some respect. But speaking of the Seahawks, we left off on the 2 Super Bowls back-to-back that the Giants lost. And then they go and beat the Seattle Seahawks in 2015. So, like, I met my wife in 2009. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about to be 6 Super Bowls that I think I've watched with her that her team was in. I'll tell you what, as much as I hated the Eagles winning, that was cool. That was cool. It was like, I felt like it was the lesser of two evils in a way. Nah, I don't know. Because you didn't want Philly to get their first one. What was a cool one? I guess the Giants, I don't know. I grew up a Cowboys fan, so watching the Giants beat them twice was not fun. Watching the Eagles get their first one wasn't fun, but I actually did like that Eagles team, and And I played high school football against Vinnie Curry, so I was kind of happy for some of the Eagles, but like, Anyway, what I'm saying here is we've watched the Patriots go to Super Bowl so much in the last 25 years, and here they go again. And I would not count them out as far as, what they can do here. I'll say this. I got the Seahawks. I see Scott Angles in the chat. Shout out to Scott, man. Scott goes, you are an example of the future. Content creator and radio content creators are the future, but the traditional journalism stages will remain and complement each other. They will, Scott. And what I'll tell you is this. There is a new young wave of young journalists that will respect the digital content creators, but also have a leg up over them because they have the degree, they have the training, they have the knowledge, and they have the structure that comes from going to school and learning this type of stuff and then working for an actual publication. Like, there are a lot of things that people miss in regards to, media ethics, and just how to go about covering things. I definitely feel you with that. Shout out to Scott. Scott says, yeah, Seahawks revenge on New England. Witherspoon interception at the goal line. So there we go. Looking for revenge. Job Alta in TikTok says, you work with WFAN? Yes. I've been under contract since November of 2021, and I will forever be in the pantheon of WFAN hosts. I will be back on the Fan Friday at 7, and I will blaze a trail for the rest of my God-given life. For the rest of the time that God allows me to breathe air on this green earth, I will blaze a trail that I hope WFAN is happy about and benefits from, and I will always be a part of the history that is WFAN. I will always be a part of the alumni and the lineage. I just couldn't work at night anymore. Simple as that. But now that I say that about the Seahawks, let's go to oh, yeah, job balls. Yeah, now I remember seeing you. You were telling people to stop talking about the snow. Well, I don't have an everyday show. So when I got on air Friday, I was like, listen, it's going to snow, and I don't have time to take calls and talk about the snow. Who cares? We had everything to talk about, from the Mets offseason, the Yankees offseason, the AFC Championship, the NFC Championship, the Knicks, John Harbaugh's press conference, who he's going to hire. I'm like, if you guys want to talk about the snow, go to 1010 Wins. They'll talk to you about the snow the entire time. Speaking of that, moving the show along here. Sam Darnold, the dark side, the 12th man, and the Pacific Northwest. Sam Darnold is amazing, and I feel like they're not giving him enough credit, and I feel like it sucks. It's just like people are trash. They just don't want to give credit where credit is due. You know how hard it is to play the quarterback position? I played quarterback from age 12 to age 20. So I had about an 8-year run of playing football, being the leader, under center, calling the plays, scoring touchdowns, throwing touchdowns, from 6th grade until I was a sophomore in college. It is hard as hell to play that position. And as you get higher and higher up, that's why there's only a few of these guys who are elite. You have to be athletic. You have to be able to throw, obviously. You have to know what the offense is doing, every part of the offense. You have to know what the defense is doing, every part of the defense. You have to be tough. You have to be headstrong. You got to be able to take a hit. You got to be able to, have a short-term memory. Playing quarterback is hard as hell, man. And I got a ton of respect for this guy right here. And if you're a Jets fan and you still have that number 14 jersey, you should be wearing it proud as hell for the next 2 weeks. Sam Darnold becomes the first starting QB from the stacked 2018 draft class to reach the Super Bowl. Huh. Who would have thought? I mean, the Jets drafted him. And, the Browns take Baker number 1 overall. Josh Allen coming out of Wyoming is a project. Lamar Jackson, not bad for a running back. But Sam Darnold was like the best pure passer coming out of that draft. Sam Darnold was also one of the he came out of USC. Oh, and as a matter of fact, do I have that cut? Let me go back to my handy dandy notebook. I got it. Speaking of USC, as we continue this stream, make sure you hit like. If you're on TikTok, I don't know, follow me. If you're on TikTok, I don't know, send a gift or a badge or do one of those roses or something. Speaking of him coming out of USC versus those other schools, they just congratulated him. Let me make this big. Congratulations to Sam Darnold. He becomes the first ever USC quarterback to be the starting QB in the Super Bowl. I didn't know that. You want to talk about a brain buster? All of those quarterbacks that came out of USC, none of them made it to the Super Bowl? Sammy D, you got it. Now let's scroll over. Sam Darnold, Cody Kessler, Matt Barkley, Mark Sanchez, Matt Leinart, Matt Castle, Carson Palmer. Now we're in the Wayback Machine. We're going back to 95. Rob Johnson, Todd Marinovich. Like, we're going back to, I wasn't even thinking thoughts at the time he played. I should know Todd Marinovich, though. I feel like I do. Rodney Peete, Paul McDonald, Rob Hurdle, Vince Evans, Pat Hayden, Mike Ray. I don't know any of those guys I just named. From the 70s, 80s. There's no point of even going back and reading some of these guys' names. As prestigious of a university as USC is, right? And then Caleb Williams, Job Alta in TikTok says Caleb Williams. I didn't even say Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is the guy on the picture. I'm showing, if you guys want to see the graphics I'm showing, got to go to YouTube, search McPherson brand, Keith McPherson, Twitter, Keith McPherson, Twitch, Keith McPherson. The guy that they're showing on the graphic next to all of those names is Caleb Williams. And I do believe Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson will get there one day. Rodney Peete, everybody I feel like knows. Shout out to Virgo Smith in the chat. Scott Engel chiming in. Scott Engel covers the Seahawks, and I believe Scott is a fan because he says, I got my NFC Champs gear. He says 43-8 best Super Bowl ever. Nah. I don't think we're going 43-8. That's crazy. Michael says, what's up, Keith? Keep the content coming. Go Hawks. Go Monmouth University Hawks and the Seahawks. Scott Engel says, Darnold has progressively improved through the season, peaking at the right time. I just think he's seen a lot, done a lot. I think his travels helped him. Being with Kyle Shanahan in the 49ers, being with Kevin O'Connell in the Minnesota Vikings, it prepared him for all this. Scott says, I was at Darnold's first preseason game for the Jets. He can challenge to be the best Seahawks quarterback ever behind Russ and maybe Hasselbeck. Let me remove this and say, I mean, what a job by Mike McDonald and the Seahawks going to get this guy. Trading Geno Smith. Brilliant. What the hell was Pete Carroll thinking? I mean, from one Jets bust of a quarterback to another, you go from Geno Smith to Sam Darnold, you're in the Super Bowl. And that defense is hell. That defense is amazing. Leonard Williams, Tank. As a matter of fact, I got to play this. I've been playing this on repeat. I've been playing this shit on repeat, folks. As a former Dallas Cowboys fan and a current free agent, looking for my next team, my wife's like, what about when Jerry Jones dies? I'm like, Jerry Jones may never die. She's like, you probably just got to go back to being a Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm like, yeah, people are trying to give me a freaking life sentence with that. But I don't believe in that. Sports is supposed to be fun. The NFL is king. It's easier than ever to be a fan of whoever you want to be a fan of. You don't have to do a life sentence with a team. What? You're basically giving a 5-year-old a life sentence. If a 5-year-old committed murder, would you put that 5-year-old in jail for the rest of their life? No. Now, I know that's drastic. I know that's not as serious here. But, okay, let's share screen, and we're going to play some clips for your NFC champions, the 12th man. And shout out again to the Pacific Northwest. I'm a baseball fan. As much as I hated the whole Cal Raleigh campaign, I was I was rooting for the Mariners to beat the Blue Jays. I was rooting for the Mariners to get to the World Series. I hate the Blue Jays. And I know their fan. I went out there for the All-Star game. I met some of their fans. Shout out to my boy Rome. Shout out to Dustin. They're starving out there. The Mariners have never won the World Series. Have the Mariners have been to the World Series? They've been to have the Mariners? They've been to one World Series. No, they haven't been to the World Series. I remember they beat the Yankees when I was real young. So they're starving out there just to even get to the World Series. And I was hurt for their whole community. I was hurt for the whole Pacific Northwest that they couldn't get it done. So let's Jabalta says, be a New York Giants fan. Hey, join my fan club on Twitch. I see, people are throwing these hearts. Someone did the heart me. H&L Dre did the league ball, finger heart, rose. We've made 26 cents on TikTok Live today. Bang. My son Jackson is allowed to be a Giants fan. I don't think I'll do that. That's such a hard left. You can't go from being a Cowboys fan your whole life to putting on Giants gear. That's when it's like, yo, you're a sick individual. Like, that's when people are questioning, like, what are you on, bro? You can't go from being a Cowboys fan where there are pictures and videos of me from the late 90s repping Dallas to being a Giants fan. But if my son wants to be a Giants fan because of Jackson Dart, all for it. Barnett Margolis says, glad to see you back online, KM to AM, baby. Yo, I'm here, but like I said, I am dad first. I wake up in the morning, my son says, Daddy, and I go get him. And with the snow, the last 3 days, it has been dad of the year time. So I have not been live, but I got plenty of time today. We're going to keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Let's share screen. Let's go to my own Twitter, and let's turn up D-Law, baby. D-Law, talk to them boys, man. D-Law, tell these people something, man. D-Law said this last year, and let me make this big. And if you don't know who D-Law is, DeMarcus Lawrence, drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, paid by the Dallas Cowboys. They gave him a contract. He became a free agent, and he had this to say, and I absolutely loved it at the time, and he called his shot.
Dallas is my home. I made my home there. My family lives there. I'm forever going to be there, but, I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. So,
wow. I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there.
We here.
We're here. DeMarcus Lawrence, welcome to the Seahawks. Thanks for joining us.
Play it again.
Dallas is my home.
Dallas is my home.
There.
I made my home there. My family's there. I'm always going to be there. But I know I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. So we're here. As the banners are behind him.
We're here.
In the
DeMarcus
Seahawks.
Lawrence, welcome to the Seahawks. Thanks for joining us.
In the Seahawks practice facility. He chose right. Speaking of the Giants asked Leonard Williams, hey, where you want to be traded? He chose right as well. Julian Love chose right as well. So you got some Giants over there that are going to win a Super Bowl. They knew they weren't winning a Super Bowl with the Giants. So, yeah, he yelled at a 10-year-old for wearing a Barkley jersey. FD Law. I forgot about that. I forgot all about that. That was hilarious. I think the 10-year-old wanted him to sign an autograph. He said, hell nah. I get it. I get it. I get it, bro. I'm trying to think of that for me. That'd be like somebody asking me to sign a Mets hat. I'd be like, it's a kid telling me sign a Mets hat. For what, bro? No, I'm just kidding. The Mets fans are on my back because the 7 Line tweeted something out today. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's go to the next thing for the Seattle Seahawks. Right? I said, if you're a Jets fan who still has a Sam Darnold jersey, rock that shit with pride. And that got some traction. 1.5K, 69 retweets. Because it's like, yo, if you're a Jet fan, why would you not be proud? If you're a Jet fan, you picked the right guy. The franchise is stupid. They can't ever get right. But, like, if you're a Jet fan that went out and bought a Sam Darnold jersey and you knew in your heart of hearts that, like, this kid's got it, he's going to be something, you were correct. It just wasn't meant to be with the Jets. And I hate the narrative that popped up about, oh, the Jets could have re-signed him this year when he was a free agent. No, they couldn't have. No, they couldn't have. Why would he come back? Why would he come back to the place where he was seeing ghosts? And speaking of that seeing ghosts, who was he seeing ghosts against? The Patriots. You want to talk about revenge? Scott Engel still in the chat? You want to talk about redemption, revenge? Let's see. Scott says, biggest difference between Darnold and Geno was not good on third down. Darnold the opposite. Yeah, he locks in on third down. Geno turns the ball over. Come join my misery being a Jets fan? No, no, no. Absolutely not. Like, what the hell are the Jets doing? They just decided that Tanner Engstrom is not going to be their offensive coordinator in year 2. Okay. They're trying to get Frank Wright, Long Island guy. I would like to see Frank get back in the NFL, even if it's with the miserable Jets because he's a hometown guy. But now they've decided that whoever they hire as defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, is going to call the plays. Like, you can't make it up with the Jets. The ineptitude is astonishing. They can't get right. They can't do shit right. It is bad. It is so bad. Anyway, Keith gets it. He rooted for Dallas. Yes. And when Dallas had a 40-burger put up on them after they were 7-point favorites at home to the youngest team in recent playoff history, I said, I'm out. And then 2 years later, Jerry Jones trades Micah Parsons to the same team? Hell no. Got to be an idiot. Be like DeMarcus Lawrence and become a 12. You know what's funny? My boy Rome, shout out to Rome. Let me see Rome's TikTok or Twitter or whatever it was so I can plug him. He might even see this. When I went out to Seattle, my boy Rome is a huge Seattle fan. He's born and raised in Seattle. Rome Johnson right here. And if you guys are on TikTok, Rome is bigger on TikTok. He's got 95.9 thousand subscriber or followers on Instagram, and let's see how many on TikTok. Bro, my boy is out of here. He's got 187K on TikTok. And he does dad content and sports content. And in the beginning of this season, I kid you not, he had me on a live, and he was trying to get me to rock with the Seahawks this year. Like, yo, this year, switch to be a Seahawks fan. And I'm like, nah, I talk down on him. I'm like, hell nah, they're not winning shit. Here we go. D-Law has said to Hawk Blogger, top Seahawks content creator, Julian Love, also a former Giant playing for a ring. Scott says he's a Mets and Knicks fan otherwise. That's fine right now. That's fine. I don't care what you're a fan of. I hate the whole, you got to be a fan of the whole hometown team. You don't know where I'm from? I'm from New Jersey. What teams I'm rooting for? The Devils, and that's it? So, anywho, as we continue on here, let me make this bigger. From the Seattle game, I said, yo, I want them to have revenge for Malcolm Butler's interception, revenge for all the jokes the Patriots made on behalf of the Jets. Let's go Hawks. And also revenge for that seeing ghost comment. Because I remember it was like Kyle Van Noy. Kyle Van Noy doubled down on it. It was like, did he say that? No. Did he really say that? Like, they mocked Sam Darnold for that seeing ghost comment. And if you've ever played any football, all that means, right, I'm seeing ghosts out there. That means I'm seeing guys that are not there. The whole NFL disguises coverage. So he's coming up to the line. He thinks it's man coverage. He snaps the ball. He's going back. It's zone. I'm seeing ghosts. It wasn't that crazy of a line. That's just how Sam talks. But what he means is I'm seeing guys that are not there. I'm seeing one thing and another thing is happening. And this is the NFL, especially for a young quarterback. It is a lot to process. That I didn't think that seeing ghost line was that funny or that like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Like, think about what he's talking about. What is he didn't mean he was seeing Casper the Friendly Ghost. He meant I'm seeing defenders that are not there when I throw the ball. When I turn it over, there's somebody popping up. There's somebody catching a pass. I'm seeing ghosts. whatever. And then last but not least, I wanted to give a big shout out to Ernest Jones. Please listen to this. Please listen to this right here.
I mean, Sam's been balling. Like, if we want to try to define Sam by this game or what, man, Sam's had us in every game. So for him to sit there and say, "Oh, that's my fault," no, it's not. There was plays that defensively we could have made plays. There were opportunities where we could have got better stops. Yeah, I mean, like, it's football, man. And he's our quarterback. We got his back, and you got anything to say, quite frankly.
I love it.
Sam's been balling. Like,
I love it.
We want to try.
He said Sam's been balling. He's had us in every game. He said for him to take responsibility and say the game is on him, it's not on him. Defense could have made plays. We had opportunities to make stops, and Sam's our leader. He's our quarterback. Put a pen in that. And so the leader of their defense, their linebacker, Ernest Jones, says, if you've got anything to say about Sam Darnold, honestly, quite frankly, fuck you. You got to love that. And when I say put a pen in that and we talk about leaders of men, do you remember? Let me see if I can find this. Sam Darnold comes into the Minnesota locker room after they win a game late in the season. And the way that the team embraced him, I thought that they were going to pay him. I thought they were going to keep him there. It's so important in football. Let me see. Maybe ChatGPT can find it because Twitter can't find it. It is so important in football to find a leader of men. It is so important in football to find a quarterback that guys like. And follow me. When guys like the quarterback, they're playing hard for that quarterback. They're protecting. They're blocking harder. They're going out there. They're making stops to get that quarterback the ball. Let me see. Find me the video of the Vikings celebrating in the locker room with Sam Darnold from the 2024 season. You don't just toss one of those guys. Not for J.J. McCarthy. I don't care where you drafted him. You do not just let one of those guys walk. Okay, so here it is right here. Let's go to YouTube. Let's pause this right here. Let's share this right here. Share screen. Sam Darnold gets a hero's welcome. Let's make it bigger. Let's go back here, hit the volume, and then watch this. One win away from the number one seed in the NFC, and look at how these guys greet Ginger Cuz when he comes back into the locker room. They're throwing water bottles on him. They're partying. It's a celebration. Everybody in on the guy. They lift him up in the air. Champion. They didn't even win anything. They were one game away from winning the number one seed. They didn't even win anything. That's a testament to Sam Darnold. They didn't even win anything. They were just happy that they have a quarterback like that, and he did the job. You know who's probably pissed off right now? Justin Jefferson. Wasting his time. You know who's probably pissed off right now, but he might have had a hand in it? Kevin O'Connell. So, with that being said, I don't know. I got Seahawks in the Super Bowl. It is their destiny. It is Sam Darnold's destiny. He's going to silence all the critics that called him Same Darnold, right? I remember Richie Incognito. I like the name, but Richie Incognito had a run calling him Same Darnold. Big game, Same Darnold. In the big game, he's the same guy. In the big game, he's the same guy. He's going to fold. He's not going to get it done. And even Mike McDonald got out there and said, yo, he shut a lot of people up. He's going to the Super Bowl before Baker, before Josh Allen, before Lamar. And if he wins the Super Bowl, he wins the Super Bowl before Brock Purdy, who he was with. You got to love it. Y'all don't love football? Y'all don't love storylines? Like, I've watched Sam Darnold since 2017. I love it. I absolutely love this stuff. I get sad around this time of the year. People talk about seasonal depression because it's 15 degrees. I get end of season depression and end of seasonal depression when there's only one football game left and the Pro Bowl sucks. Don't even talk. Well, I guess next we'll do some conversation on the Pro Bowl. Check this. Check this. Story of the season. All three facets of the game. Special teams.
Come out and change field position.
So they'll try and do.
Special teams.
Beautiful spiraling deep kick. Smith who bobbled up before. He lost it.
Big play.
Seattle recovers.
Big play. That swung the game right there.
Change field position.
Starting the second half, that was a huge swing. Now I know that the Rams came out and they answered. You know, they came back out and answered, but the Seahawks were prepared. The Seahawks were prepared every step of that game. And even here, I'll share my screen again. Even when it got a little crazy for them, even when it got a little crazy in the sequence where Tariq Woolen was flagged, and I was going crazy online. I hated it. I just think the NFL is soft. I think the NFL is pansy at times, but I get it. I honestly get it, and I'll show this, and I'll explain after. So the taunting penalty, and these guys have been talking cash shit to each other the whole game. You know, here's the first view. I said, it's their home field. I hate this. If he didn't step off the field onto their sideline, let him pop his shit. It was 3rd and 12. They stopped them, got them off the field, and you gift them that for words? NFL bogus. But somebody sent me this view right there. There's 2 feet. He had 2 feet on their sideline. Right there. Let me make this large. I said, okay. He did step off the field and onto their sideline. The NFL has cracked down and really enforced the taunting stuff. They have to on the main stage. This is where we are in 2026. Don't be a meanie, I guess. It is the only game on. It's to go to the Super Bowl. The NFL sent out league-wide memos. You can't do the guns anymore. You can't flex over a guy. You can't taunt in the end zone. You can't, like, you got to just play the game. You got to play the game. And what I also was getting after people on Twitter for was like, yo, this isn't high school. You know, this isn't Pop Warner. We're not teaching these kids sportsmanship. They're grown men. They're running hot. And, like, what I was saying is, like, when you're on your home field, you're on your home field. When you're on your home field, you feel like, yo, this is my shit, bro. Like, I can do what I want out here. But, no, you can't. You can't. The NFL almost made a move there that if the Seahawks would have lost, people would have been looking at that like, yo, you can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah. They saved Woolen. He apologized online. I'm happy for him. He said, I'm going to the Super Bowl. I'm happy for him. I am happy for him. I'm happy for Shedeur Sanders as well. I'm happy for Shedeur Sanders as well. We'll skip to this just because I think this is hilarious. We'll skip to the Shedeur Sanders Pro Bowl thing. And I just got one thing to say about it. Let's see. Let's see. Pro Bowl roster. They told me bust out my AP. Perfect time, man. You know, if you don't understand right now, and this is going to be, actually, let me cue up the actual, I think I saved the image. So let me bring up the image that I saved in my notes. See, like, I used to clip notes and always be watching sports and make a show for the radio. And all of these clips and things and images that I had, I couldn't use them on the radio. I had to read them. I had to create theater of the mind. I had to, put them in my notes and illustrate with words, what was going on. But I like the webcam style show, right? I've been playing around with my audio. I've been playing around with my lighting. You guys notice I got a different lighting. I got the background blurred. Let's see. Let's switch. 50 told me go ahead and switch the style up. And if they hate, then let them hate and watch the money pile up. Let's go purple from here. Let's switch the swag to some purple. I had on a purple JMU shirt the other day. My son said, "I like your purple shirt, Daddy. I like your purple shirt, Daddy. Just a little bit of a purple hue. Just a little bit of a purple hue under." So here is Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders' kid, and say whatever you want about his numbers or lack thereof. say whatever you want about his rookie campaign. Shedeur Sanders, as a rookie, as a 5th-round pick, will have a spot in the 2024 Pro Bowl games. Yahoo Sports reports Browns QB Shedeur Sanders has been added to the Pro Bowl roster as a replacement from a 5th-round pick to a Pro Bowler. Why didn't they hit up Jackson Dart? Why didn't they hit up Tyler Shuck? Now let's go get the rosters, actually. Let's get the rosters. Obviously you need replacements because Sam Darnold's going to the Super Bowl. And in this case, in the AFC, Drake May, who's most likely going to be the runner-up for MVP, he's going to the Super Bowl. So you need replacements. Here are the rosters right now. If you can see my screen, I'll try and make this a little bigger as well. Okay, so Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, they're available. Sam Darnold, not available. Puka Nacua, available. Jackson Smith and Jigba, not available. Let's go to, and so like, when I say, why didn't they get Jackson Dart? Why didn't they get Tyler Shuck? Those guys are in the NFC. Let's go to AFC roster so I can see specifically the quarterbacks. Josh Allen, Drake May, Justin Herbert. They're going to swap out Drake May with Shedeur Sanders. Which quarterbacks would you guys have put in before Shedeur Sanders, specifically from the AFC? As I'm trying to think in my head real quick, Patrick Mahomes is hurt. Lamar Jackson came back for 1 game. He didn't have the stats this year. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is rich and paid. I don't know if he even wanted to go. I got to read some articles. Maybe there was like a little bit of a story around this. Aaron Rodgers? No. I don't know. Justin Fields. What I'll also say, and I said this to my wife this morning, it has nothing to do with the regular season because they're not actually playing a football game. They're playing flag football and like gym games. They're playing dodgeball. They're doing skills competitions. The only reason Shedeur Sanders is in the Pro Bowl, his massive following. I'm part of it. I've been following him for years. I've been following him since he was a freshman at Jackson State. When you look at Shedeur Sanders, don't forget about this. It's important now. It matters now. And this is going to segue me into talking about a few different things. But, this matters now. This matters. 2.7 million followers. Shedeur Sanders has a massive audience, a massive following. He got in the Pro Bowl off of jersey sales. Shedeur Sanders got in the Pro Bowl off of motion. So it's business, right? They want people to watch. If you put Shedeur Sanders in it, his fan base is going to watch. Now, we're watching this coaching search for the Cleveland Browns, and it seems like nobody wants that job, with Shedeur Sanders most likely being the starting quarterback. But the NFL recognizes business and marketing, and they understand, what these kids are watching. How many videos did you see of kids opening up a Browns number 12 Sanders jersey? That brown jersey is terrible. The white one isn't even much better. But there were a lot of kids across this country, white, black, Hispanic, red, purple, green, whatever, that when they opened up that box on Christmas and they saw Sanders 12 on the back, they raised their wrists up. He's an icon. I wouldn't even say he's an average quarterback in the NFL. Maybe he can be. Maybe he can be. He cost me my survivor pool this year. I drank the Shedeur Sanders Kool-Aid. I did. He had a home game against the Tennessee Titans. For weeks, I was picking whoever played against the Tennessee Titans. It's in the cold of Ohio. I'm thinking there's no way Shedeur Sanders and the Browns lose this game. Shador throws a pick and they lose. And you got to understand marketing and business. Everything now is being weighed by social media, following, engagement, impressions. And I said this about myself, right? I said, there's been some goofies that have popped into my chat in the couple hours that I've done this live. And I don't mind it. I address you because the algorithm doesn't mind you either. The algorithm doesn't know that you're a loser trying to troll, trying to be seen and being negative and nasty, saying stupid stuff to me. And I don't care. I don't know you. I'll probably never see you. And if I do see you, you're not going to say that in person. People never act like that. But I'll take the follow. I'll take the view. I'll take the algorithm saying you reached. How many people have we reached? 2,400 people on TikTok. I'll take it. Whether you are here to hate or not. How many people hate on Shador Sanders? A ton. But they're doing nothing but adding to his impressions, engagement, views. And those numbers overall are doing business for him. You need hate. You need, like, I learned that in the radio. Nobody gets unanimous love. Even a guy like Steve Summers, an old man that everybody should love. Even an old guy like John Sterling that everybody should love. They have their detractors. They have their haters. They have people that are naysayers and negative and against them for whatever reasons. But you need both, right? You need both because, like, as you're filling up your bucket of notoriety, as you're pouring that water into how much weight you carry, they're not deciphering whether there are haters or supporters in those numbers. You know, that's not how it's calculated. That's not how it's counted. So, right. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. Daniel says it means you're doing something right. I remember I used to be a big fan of KD before he joined the Warriors and before he joined the Nets. And I remember being on Twitter, and once KD joined the Warriors, I said, damn, this guy is powerful because he could tweet anything. He could tweet about his breakfast, and there would be an army of people. You're a cupcake. You're a snake. You're a traitor. Like, they made it their jobs to troll KD. And KD is rich and successful and famous. And I've met KD. Shout out to KD. I met KD at the Home Run Derby at Dodger Stadium a few years back. And he knew who I was from Talkin Nets. He came up. He dapped me up. And I remember my wife and my sister was like, oh, my God, he knew you. And I'm like, yeah, it's my first time meeting him. But, like, shout out to his boy Eddie, too. Eddie Gonzalez did my podcast. Like, I knew. KD is tall as fuck. When you see KD in person, he's like a building. You know how in New York you're walking, and then when you get to a building, you look up to see the building? Like, KD is like a walking building. Nobody talks shit to KD. You guys just saw the viral video of KD, right? I love that video because I'm like, this is who KD is. KD was talking shit to that fan, and we need more of that. They're not allowed to do that, right? The NBA doesn't want you to do that. I'm searching Kevin Durant right now, and that video is like shadow banned. You can't even find it. But you know if you're watching sports. He's like, you fat mother effer. Who are you talking to? You talking to me? This is sacred to me out here. You can't do anything out here. Who are you talking to? He's like, you sound stupid. You sound foolish. I got it. Boom. I would say it can't be completely shadow banned. The internet is written in ink. Once something's out there, it's easy to find. But follow me. All of this pertains to Shador Sanders, myself, anybody that's a public figure, anybody that's trying to build followers and business and motion online. We need you to hate. So this is somebody who took their hate and tried to bring it in real life. And here's the difference. In real life, you get a response from a real life human being. And if it's someone like KD who's towering over you while you're paying thousands of dollars to sit in a seat, you look stupid. And KD, he can't lose. He said, you fat mother effer, you can't do shit. You pay to see us. Watch your effing mouth. And then during the break, KD talks to him. He said, I don't accept it. This out here is sacred to me. This basketball court. KD is an all-time great. And then the guy started backpedaling. He started backtracking. Oh, I don't think you really suck. If you did think KD sucked, you would sound like an idiot. KD is one of the greatest basketball players we've ever laid eyes on. arguably the greatest scorer of all time. I know Steph. I know. But, like, Steph can't score at every single level, way, point on the floor like KD. Steph is the greatest shooter. KD is arguably the greatest scorer, from shooting the three to his mid-range to getting to the rack. Going back to what I'm saying, man, it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. These haters, man, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. And that's something I said to the people at my my creator event, my content creator roundtable this weekend, was like, yo, you need these haters, ignore them. But, like, if you want to cook them up, you can too. Like, if you want to shut them up, if you want to address them, you can do that as well. But just when I say ignore them, don't let them stop you. Because there's so many people that start creating content and putting themselves out there, and there's one person or one comment that sticks with that person, and they can't get it out of their head, and then they're discouraged, and they're afraid, and they don't want to show up again because what if they make fun of my voice? What if they say something about my hair? What if they think I don't know ball? What if they're making fun of how many people are watching my live? F those people. They're losers. They're not doing anything. They're losers. They can't do anything but try and bring you down. They can't do anything but talk down on you because they're not doing anything. They're projecting. So shout out to Shedeur Sanders, man. Shedeur Sanders, do your thing, player. It's not a real football game. Do your thing, bro. It's a skills challenge and a flag football game. Shedeur might shine in that regard. Shedeur loves to hold on to the ball too long. He might actually shine in that regard. Shedeur Sanders, this is a marketing tool, right? Shedeur Sanders this year will probably get the nod over Dillon Gabriel. And then Deshaun Watson is coming back. And, I mean, I don't think it'll be close. Even at this late stage in Deshaun Watson's career, I don't think it'll be close as far as, like, who's the better quarterback. I think it'll be Deshaun Watson. And that could spell the end of Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. I don't know who their coach is going to be. I have no idea. I have no idea. But it seems like guys are shying away because it's like you got to go there and coach Deion's kid, and he's polarizing. You got to go there and coach Shedeur Sanders. He's got a massive following of fans that, like, how do you deal with that? Like, if you bench this kid, like, we've never seen this. A celebrity quarterback whose dad is a Hall of Famer. He's black. He's confident. He's not elite, but, like, he's serviceable and good enough where, like, they had to play him. He's better than Dillon Gabriel. I'll give you that. That was a facade that they even tried to play that where, like, oh, Dillon Gabriel is going to get to start over. Like, why? Because they drafted him first? Because they drafted him before Shedeur? It's crazy. It's nuts. That's nuts to think that drafting Shedeur Sanders after Dillon Gabriel, and I don't know, whatever they seen in camp, they saw in camp. But you give that nod to Shedeur Sanders 10 times out of 10 because of who he is. Shout out to my guy, Ray. You're inspiring, and I hope to see you at the stadium this year. You will, Ray. I'm at the stadium a lot. I guarantee you there were times where you were at the stadium and I was there. And now that we're friends, now that we know each other, hit me. Tell me, Keith, I am at the game today. I am in section, whatever it is, and I will come to you. We'll watch an inning. And if you need me to get you anything, if you need any help, whatever, like in the stadium, like that's the type of guy I am. You're inspiring, bro. I wish I could call here because I know it's going to be super hard for me to call on Friday, but I'm going to give an effort. I don't have a number set up. I actually need to tap in with my homie Ben Ballion because we were on his live and he had a number set up. So I need to tap in with the homie Ben and get me a number to dial on these lives, you know? Get me a number to dial on these lives. I'm going to start a poll in here. Let's see. What should we talk about next? What should we talk about next? This is specifically for YouTube. Super Bowl, Knicks, Giants, coaching staff. Add option. Start poll. And I think I can do on StreamYard a little banner here. And again, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys in here. I've been live since 11:11. So we're about to hit 2 hours. And I think I'm going to wrap this up at like 2 hours and 15 minutes. TikTok, appreciate you guys as well. I know you guys cannot see the graphics. I got to learn. There's got to be a way in TikTok Studio to do it, but it's such a lift. I need like a producer, bro. Oh, screen sharing is here. Yeah, I could do that. Let's see. How do I share my screen in TikTok Studio? Switching layout not available during live or recording. I don't know. I'm honestly doing TikTok Studio because I don't like the way that it streams in StreamYard as like a, putting in the stream key. But yeah, I'm working on all this stuff. Not my full-time job. Not my, what the hell? What the helly? Not my end-all be-all at all. Just something I'm working on. So, okay. I put the poll in the YouTube chat, and we'll see what you guys are on with that. Did that go? And we'll go back to, and I know people want to talk Yankees before I get out of here, so we'll probably end up doing that too. So let's go back to a couple things here from my notes, and then we got like 20 minutes, so we'll get closer to wrapping this up. I hit on Shador, and I have a couple things for the Yankees. Let's see. Everybody questioning Sean McVay. I'm off that. Oh, here's another good one. This will segue us into the Giants, as a matter of fact. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 things. We did the Drake May draft class conversation, or we did the Caleb Williams draft class conversation. Drake May has beat his counterparts as well. So follow me here. Follow me here as I'm loading up some stuff. And then we'll switch gears a little bit. Boom. Let's go to share. I'm getting hot again. Share screen. No, we'll just upload this image file. Go to image file, and I wanted to show you guys this because this was kind of eerie. I'm sure you all saw it if you're on the internet. Take a look at this from early September. Now, that was like September 4th. And if you zoom in closer, let me remove this now. And I'll just put it here. Why is this frozen right here for me, bro? What the hell? If you zoom in, which I already did, the NFL, people always say the NFL is rigged. People say the NFL is set up. And when you see stuff like this, it's like, bruh, what the hell? Who's at the front of the line? Who are the closest two quarterbacks to the stadium? Sam Darnold and Drake May. Could you imagine like looking at that and thinking that? Sauce Gardner is standing next to his now teammate, Jonathan Taylor. He goes from being a Jet to a Colt. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I think that's crazy. Who would have thought that the NFL put that painting together and they were foreshadowing Seahawks, Patriots, Super Bowl? Like, you never know with this stuff, man. You never know. All right, let's pull up something else here as we continue. So, with that thought, right, Drake May, honestly, Drake May is the closest to it. Does that mean that Drake May is going to win the Super Bowl? No, we need the Seahawks to win. We absolutely need the Seahawks to win. But shout out to Drake May because he is the shiny quarterback of that stacked draft class from 2 years ago. And shout out to artificial intelligence. They've got Drake May standing with the Super Bowl trophy. He's got to go win it, though. Bo Nix gets hurt. who knows? If Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, maybe he's in the Super Bowl. Caleb Williams got to the playoffs, won a game, lost the playoffs. And then look at how dirty they did Jaden Daniels, who's in a wheelchair, and he's in a full body cast. 9, J.J. McCarthy, who's on the ground barking like a dog. And then Michael Penix Jr., who's just like all the way in the background. Hi, my name's Penix. Oh, man. Yo, Poly Market Football, if you guys follow them, they are always trolling. They are pretty funny. They always just have an angle. They always just have it's all jokes. It's all fun and games. It is all not serious with Poly Market Football, and I can appreciate it. Whoever writes for that account, they are not to be taken seriously at all. Hold on. I haven't been on my phone. Hold on. Yeah, I need that. No, I need that. Wait a second here. Information you requested. Okay, good. Okay. Moving along. I kind of took that poll on YouTube and kind of just I took the poll on YouTube and kind of just did what I wanted to do anyway, which is fine. I'm getting hungry. I got to go get some lunch in a second. And the Caster is on. I'll try and catch up on what the Caster has to say. But let's share a couple more things. So I showed you that. I showed you that. I showed you that. Last but not least here from the Patriots, you got to feel good for Stephon Diggs. And people were mocking him because he had like under 20 yards and he didn't have a big impact in the game, but no one could. Stephon Diggs has made his first career Super Bowl. You got to feel happy for the guy. He couldn't get it done in Minnesota. Couldn't get it done in Buffalo. He joins the Patriots, and he gets to play in a Super Bowl. In the same year that he's facing charges for, I don't know, assaulting his chef. In the same year that he has a kid by Cardi B. Hey, Cardi B is rich and famous. Cardi B probably has more money than Stephon Diggs. Good for Stephon Diggs, man. Good for Stephon Diggs, man. I got one loose lock here. Where's the TikTok chat at? Now I'm blocking the chats. Okay, because somebody said they want to talk Yankees. Someone also said Knicks get Giannis. I started off saying there's no point in doing the Giannis conversation until it breaks. Do you think the Knicks get Giannis? I don't think they need him. I think it's a panic move if they give up what it's going to take to get him. Yankees had an L off season so far. We did nothing to improve the team. I think that's not true. I understand that the team did not win last year. I understand that ultimately they failed. My hair is a mess, and I don't need these. I don't need these headphones. I understand that the Yankees failed at the ultimate goal, which they've failed at the last 16 years. It was like half my life. I understand that in the offseason, you're always like, yo, improve the team, improve the team. We need this, we need that. But, like, what would you say the Yankees needed to improve on? Like, what position was a position of need? After Trent Grisham took the qualifying offer, you knew that they were going to zero in on Cody Bellinger for that outfield. Done. In the infield, I know Volpe is hurt, but he's not out for the whole season. He will be back. They got Caballero last year. They also have Oswaldo Cabrera this year. Those two guys will be the starting shortstop and backup shortstop, Cabby and Cabby 2.0. They're not going to spend money on a shortstop when they wholeheartedly believe in Anthony Volpe. So I'm sorry to tell you guys that are Yankee fans, like Bobby McGee says third base, first base, shortstop. Third base, they have Ryan McMahon, and they brought back Ahmed Rosario to platoon with him to shore that up. If Ryan McMahon absolutely can't hit, Ahmed Rosario will play against lefties. First base, Ben Rice plays first base, and also Cody Bellinger can play first base. I know it's two left-handed first basemen, but check me out. If Dominguez has a good spring, and there's a lot of chatter about you got to play Dominguez or Spencer Jones, or if they trade one of them, you know, there's a world where Belly is at first base, and Judge is in right, and Grisham is in center, and Dominguez is in left. And Spencer Jones can field his position. We don't know about Dominguez field in left field, but Spencer Jones can field his position. I think he's fine in center or left field. He's come up a center fielder. I'm very interested to see what the Yankees do next as far as trades. I do not expect them to spend any more money, but I expect Cashman to do something this week or next week before training camp to add another element of like, okay, we did get better. We added another arm, a starter, a bullpen guy. Like, I know Ryan Weathers, Paul Blackburn, Ryan Yarbrough, Ahmed Rosario, and Cody Bellinger don't inspire any type of confidence. Like, you feel like they're running it back, but they're not running it back because Garrett Cole will be back. So just getting the Cy Young winning pitcher from 2 seasons ago back alone, they're not running it back. He didn't pitch a game last year. Bobby McGee says, Ben Rice isn't a first baseman yet. I can live with Belly if they make a move for a right-handed outfielder. Get me a right-handed catcher. I think that's a bigger hole and need. And you're correct. Ben Rice cannot field the position. Not from what we saw last year. Hopefully you work with Paul Goldschmidt, and hopefully he's working in the offseason to work on scooping the ball. I know Volpe wishes he was better at that. Logan O'Hoppe, yeah, that'd be great. I'm pretty sure he's from New York. I think he came up a Yankee fan. I remember him like wanting to meet Susan Waldman or something like that. But I lost my train of thought. That's what I'm saying. They're not done. They need another right-handed bat, not necessarily a right-handed outfielder, because if you do that, that's a 4th outfielder, and you have Dominguez and you have Spencer Jones. Get me a right-handed catcher to platoon with Austin Wells. I'm not sold on Austin Wells being the everyday catcher. And even so, nobody catches every game. Nobody catches all 6 games, 5 games in a week. You need somebody else, and it needs to be a right-handed catcher. Ben Rice being at first base is not going to be behind the dish. I would love, actually, for them to get a right-handed catcher that also has some first base experience. Why can't they do that? Who's out there? O'Hoppe and Neto from the Angels. They're not going to get Neto. I'm telling you, they feel like, okay, after they threw Volpe out there all of those times last year and he was hurt, they feel like Volpe's going to come back this year and be good to go. They feel like there's going to be a Volpe revenge tour in the second half of the year. And I think we're not going to be able to survive with Caballero there every day. I think we're going to be in trouble with Caballero. That's why I mentioned Oswaldo Cabrera getting some reps and potentially getting some run at shortstop, because I think you're bugging out if you think that Jose Caballero can be the Yankees' everyday shortstop for the first 3 months of the season and not piss you off, not get thrown out of games, not get thrown out on the base paths, not make errors, not do stupid things. Like, I think that's a crazy thought for Cashman and the Yankees to think that this guy can handle it. But you know what they're thinking? We ran Volpe out there with a torn labrum and leading the league in errors, batting under 200. Can't be much worse than that. Still won 94 games with that. Still made the playoffs with that. That's not a good way to look at it, because that's not getting better. But I think that's the way they surmise it. I think that's the way that they go to sleep at night feeling good about themselves. Like, well, we survived with freaking Volpe, and Volpe was hurt, and Volpe was terrible. All right, let's talk Giants. Actually, no, I got a couple more things on the Yankees now that I look at my notes. This caused a little bit of a fuss, huh? And this is not really even the Yankees, but this caused a little bit of a fuss. This caused a little bit of a conversation online, and I chuck and duck on Twitter. So if you ever see any of my tweets start to get a lot of responses, I've muted them because I don't care. I'm not going back and forth with people. I'm not answering people, and I'm not taking all those notifications on. So Juan Soto posted on his Instagram the other night after Judge won MVP again. He posted their 2024 stats. Why? 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 Why are you reminiscing? Are you missing Judge? And my response to this, and I was late on it because I was like, I didn't care. I don't follow Juan Soto. I'm not stalking Juan Soto's Twitter. Where is I'm going to my own Twitter. Boom, 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 boom. I've got to scroll back. Okay, here it is. Like, this is a perfect example of something that I would mute on Twitter because, like, I'm like, bro, I get it. They're like, the Met fans, they be out. And right now I got something on Twitter that's percolating. where I told Met fans, like, yeah, I knew to troll them. It was getting a better response, a better reaction than trying to be your friend. So right here, I said, for pretty much the same money, could have stayed with Judge the rest of his career, the rest of Judge's career. Now you're stuck in Queens with a new team every 2 to 3 years because David Stearns doesn't want to give long-term contracts. Nobody's going to sign with the Mets for a 15-year deal, 10-year deal, 8-year deal. They're not doing it. So Juan Soto, I mean, he may opt out in some years. I posted that with Juan Soto reminiscing, and it got a bunch of, I don't know. I got a bunch of comments and stuff. I didn't read any of these. Because who cares? Who cares, yo? These people don't understand, too. Like, my Twitter is monetized. All that engagement, hopefully you have a verified account. Come on down. I'll take it. I'll take the $40 every couple of weeks. I'll take the $50 every couple of weeks, whatever it is from Elon Musk. I'll take the gas money. You're like, who cares, bro? I don't know what Juan Soto is on. I say this. Juan Soto is a baseball guy. He's a baseball fan. And he loves Judge. He loves Judge because Judge is the best. Judge is the best he's ever played with, best he's ever seen. I know he's played with Bryce Harper. He would tell you that. Do you think the Yankees go over or under their posted win total for the season? FanDuel has it at 92.5 with a slight lean to under 92.5. I want to say over. I want to say over just to shut up a lot of people. I want to say the Yankees win more games because they don't have Devin Williams and Luke Weaver to lose games, blow games. Jonathan Loaizaga, Mark Leiter Jr., they don't have those guys coming out of the bullpen. They still need some bullpen help, but they don't have those guys. You know what I'm saying? They don't have those guys to piss away games that they should have won. They also aren't going to be playing Jazz out of position. So if Jazz can stay healthy, why can't Jazz have another 30-30 season, arguably being the best shortstop in the American League? Why can't Ryan McMahon, his second year with the Yankees, his first full season with the Yankees, pick it up at the plate? We know his glove's going to be there. Ahmed Rosario now, veteran, in the clubhouse, good depth off the bench. He's there. Ben Rice is going to get an opportunity to play every day. He did last year because he was the DH, right, when Stanton wasn't ready. Is Stanton going to be ready this whole year? Is Stanton going to be healthy? That's also a plus if he is, if he's hitting. If Grisham doesn't regress, if Judge is still MVP-like, if Belly is now signed, sealed, delivered, and can duplicate what he's done and not take a step back. If Caballero and Oswaldo Cabrera can be serviceable at shortstop, and then Volpe comes back, and I'm telling you, they're banking on a healthy Volpe having a resurgence. He's young. They're not giving up on him. Austin Wells, and then whoever they might add. They added a bunch of little guys like Michael Sirianni, Paul DeYoung, Nick Torres. They added a bunch of depth pieces for spring training invites that the Yankees are probably banking on one of those guys emerging in spring and maybe making the team and maybe being able to help. And don't let me leave out Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez. Spencer Jones will be 25 this year. Dominguez is 22. Those guys gotta piss or get off the pot. It's time. You feel me? And with that being said, man, it's time. This is my last 5 minutes. I got to wrap this at 1:30. The last thing I wanted to do is hit on the Giants. I wanted to hit on the Giants and their coaching hires. And the coaching staff coming together. How about Kafka? How about Kafka going to the Detroit Lions? I think they saw what Kafka did with Jameis Winston against them. They're like, yo, bring that guy over here. Bring that guy over here. Let's find out what he saw. What he thought he could expose in our defense. So here's one for you. The Giants were waiting out Chris Horton as their special teams coordinator. Baltimore originally denied their request for an interview. Harbaugh gets his guy. The Giants are set to hire Ravens special teams coordinator Chris Horton. So here we go. The Harbaugh effect is on in Giants land. It is happening. It is happening. He's bringing his guys in. There was some speculation about Zach Orr or Wink Martindale or Rex Ryan being the defensive coordinator. We don't have to speculate anymore. The Giants are hiring former Titans defensive coordinator Denard Wilson as their new defensive coordinator. per the insiders. Big hire for John Harbaugh. Another round of applause. It is coming together. And last but not least, let's remove this. And let's share screen and go to New York Giants news about their coaching staff. You'll see Mike Kafka up here, right? Mike Kafka up here. Congrats to Mike Kafka getting a chance to join a winning franchise that's now winning in the Lions. But the New York Giants add 4 more ex-Ravens assistants to their coaching staff. Get this ad out of here. Get this ad up out of here. So assistant linebackers coach Matt Pease are also set to hire 3 Baltimore quality control coaches, running backs quality control coach Adam Schrack, defensive backs quality control coach Brendan Clark, and analyst Noah Riley. John Harbaugh is bringing his whole team over here. He's bringing his whole team over here. I already told you about Chris Horton and also the defensive coordinator, Denard Wilson. So the Giants are underway. And, yeah, they're starting to vacuum outside my hallway door, and I think that's my time to get off. I got to eat lunch. I got to respond to some calls and whatnot. They're like literally just like hit my apartment door. Like this wall in front of me is to the hallway. My apartment door is over there, so I was waiting for them to go past. Yo, again, appreciate everybody that pulls up for these. I do these randomly. If you're on YouTube, hit like. Appreciate y'all in here. This is not my full-time show. This is not my career. This is not what I'm doing. I'm still working part-time on WFAN. I'll be back on WFAN Friday. All I can tell you is I'm staying sharp by watching games and clipping them up and doing these live streams. And there's a good sized community of you that rock with me, and I appreciate you. Like, you decided to watch for a minute or an hour or 2 hours and you didn't have to. It means a lot to me because, like I said, I remember doing this for 4 people. I remember years ago wanting an audience, wanting to build a name, wanting to build a brand, and I've done that. I've already won. I've already established myself in this space as someone that people care to listen to his thoughts and be entertained by my antics and everything else. And I'm doing this right from the crib while I have time, and that's another one in the books. So I appreciate all of y'all again. Another one. And TikTok as well. I'm not going to ignore TikTok. Let me close here and get everything out of the chat. M says, we just need a break from the Yankees for a season, I think. Yeah, so the lockout. When they lock out next year, you'll get your break from the Yankees, and you'll miss it. Because when 2020 hit and we couldn't go to the stadium, that sucked. I don't need a break from the Yankees. Yankees need a right. CV writes, Yankees need a right-handed catcher. Re-sign Goldie on a cheap deal? No. Bullpen will improve. Either one of those two are being... No, I'm done with Goldie. I wouldn't sign him. Did Carson Kelly sign anywhere? Let's check the news. Yeah, he's with the Cubs. What was I going to say? Let's see. I see them bringing up Lombard in July to play third. 0 chance that happens. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. There's just a 0% chance that they bring George Lombard up to play third base. Like, even if they traded away Ryan McMahon, he's been playing shortstop. He's their top prospect, and they are not going to ruin him. They are not in a rush. They want him to be dominating Double-A this year, where they have to move him up to Triple-A this year, and then he's still probably a year or 2 away. Pronto Pizza in Brooklyn says, Keith, when you pulling up? Let me look up Pronto Pizza. Pronto Pizza, Brooklyn. Let me know. You guys want to shoot some? You guys want to do some type of influencer content? You want to do some type of, Keith McPherson comes through to do a Pronto Pizza, Pronto taste test? I'll have to check you out. I'll have to check you guys out. Thanks for pulling up to the chat. Should they just get rid of the Pro Bowl at this point? They can't. I mean, they could. It sucks, but they can't. It's just something that they do in this in-between. It's the NFL will not do it because They probably have a contract with ESPN, and there's also just a TV thing they've done for years. It's the week between the Super Bowl. They got to have something. They got to have something. They brought you up in the show about 6 minutes ago. What does that mean? Oh, Evan and Tiki show? Let me see. What'd they say? I'll try and go back. About the jersey? Earlier they brought up about what you said about the jersey. Yeah. Oh, about the Sam Darnold jersey. That you should be proud. Yeah, you should be. I feel like if you like felt like Sam Darnold was the right pick and the right guy, bro, I swear, if you click on one baddie on any platform, all of your suggested reels are just ass and tits and fine ass girls, bro. I'm like, what is this on my page? Who is this girl? I'm a married man. I'm off the market, but my eyes work. And I swear social media was never like this. Like if I was a 13-year-old now with an iPhone, there are bad bitches everywhere. So easily available. And it's like it never ends. Anyway, I'm losing my train of thought. Thanks for the update on that. I will go and try and find that. And it's funny. I think that's a good way to end this stream. I started this stream today bigging up Evan and Tiki saying, hey, if you want to go watch them because Evan and Tiki are live right now and they're crushing it. They hold about 1,500 viewers at once. And we are approaching 100,000 subs on WFAN's YouTube channel. Go subscribe there. So thanks. There it is. For WFAN to have 8 viewers, damn. Listen, this isn't WFAN. This is my TikTok page. I don't care. This is another good way to end. WFAN is WFAN live on TikTok? I'm going to assume Jersey Truth is making fun of the now 9 people watching on TikTok. That number has gone up and down. That number in total is 2,600K through the 2 hours I've been streaming. And what I'll say again, and this is something that I use to inspire younger people and people trying to create and afraid to go live, who cares? Perform the same way whether there was 1 person watching or 1 million. Tom Brady had that mentality. He said he treated practice like the game. He treated preseason like the game. So when he got to the big game that is the Super Bowl, it was all the same. That's all I've got. Appreciate you guys for watching, whether there's 1 person or 100,000. There has been thousands throughout this time that I've been live. And I will be the same person whether there's 1 person watching or 100K. So thank you again. If you're on YouTube, hit like. If you're on TikTok, whatever, hit like because it all just triggers the algorithm. I'll be back probably in a day or 2, or maybe we get some breaking news or something to stream about. Obviously, there's no more football for a while to talk about. Maybe we get some breaking news with the Yankees to talk about, but I'll find some way to talk about. And again, I'm back on the Fan Friday, so we'll do a quick Friday night show for a couple hours. So let me cancel these last comments, or not cancel, clear them, and then I'll cancel the live and the stream. My guy Shukri out here. Shukri, bro. All right. This is perfect because Shukri is on the air in Philly doing their radio. Why would I care if I only have 9 people watching my TikTok live? That's 1 platform. I went live on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube today, reached thousands of people, and I did 4 years of radio where the radio reaches hundreds of thousands to 1 million. There are 1 million people that have heard my voice, know my name from what I did over the 4 years on the radio. I don't care how many people are watching or not watching. That number is going to fluctuate, and I don't think it's a representation of who I am or what I am if the number is low or high. It's the middle of the day. I would hope some people have school, class, something to do. This will be recorded, and this will be stored, and this will stay on my page. And now I'm like, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go until this hits 2 minutes or 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's a number I care about more than the number of viewers, right? a number I care about is someone's going to be like, yo, Keith was live for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Let's see what he was talking about that whole time. Okay, shout out to the lone silencer. Got to get ad blocking? Yeah, I'm not thinking about all that. I'll check in Friday for a chat. KM to PM, quick show on the fan. Yes, Friday, quick show on the fan, back on the fan, 7 to 9:20. Ray says he's going to try and call. Wish me luck. Hopefully he gets on. We got to figure out a line on here. Yeah, I will figure a call-in line on here. I know the way to do it. I know the kid who has set it up. He just got to give me the free game. Plus, the players' union would probably fight it as players have incentives tied to their. Yeah, the players are the ones, like, the owners want the lockout because they want to install a salary cap. The players don't. The players don't. All right, so let me see. I'm going back like 6-7 minutes to Evan and Tiki. And see if I can cue that up. Can I cue it up before I let's see if I can cue this up. No. I hate when I try to like zoom out and I zoom in too much. Now I'm in the Evan and Tiki chat as myself. Trying to go back to what they said. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. The last thing I'm gonna do here is try and pull that up. Don't mind me. Now TikTok's like, your live will end in 4 minutes. We have detected inactivity during your current live. Complete the verification to continue your live. I'll complete it and I'll end it on my own. I'll complete it and I'll end it on my own. It's like you got to move a puzzle piece and line the puzzle piece up. Done. Okay. And I've made 52 cents on TikTok today. I've got 3,000 likes on TikTok today. I gained 9 new followers on TikTok today. And TikTok was janky over the weekend. I posted a couple things and they didn't like get any views. And my wife was like, yeah, there's a US takeover at TikTok and it's different now. Let's see. Raging Bull. What up, bro? I'm live on my channel and someone told me they mentioned me here. So I'm checking back for it. Let me see here. You might be able to hear I'm like listening to the ad right now. I think I can fast forward through these WFAN ads. Allow TikTok Live Studio to find devices on local network. Yeah, fine. Okay, cool. WFAN approaching 100K. Okay. Keith, hope all is well. It is. I am great. I had an amazing week last week. So I'm blessed. We're about to end this live. I'm trying to see if I can get to. I don't think I'll be able to get to it. Yeah, I can't find it. That's fine. We got a minute and a half here. The Raging Bull word. Okay. I got to get lunch. Now I have 23 text messages, and I got to figure that out. So, without further ado, and I'm setting up my lights here. Yeah. So I can turn off my lights with my feet. so I don't have to duck down. These LED lights are on knobs. Yeah. And so we'll close this way. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for hitting like. Thanks for commenting. That's all I've got, and I'm out. Well, I don't want it to be dark on the out. I just want a different color. Oh, hey, I like that vibe here. All right. That'll do it. End stream.